right, everyone, welcome back to the Barren Lands, episode 4. The title of this episode is Stone Cold. Stone, all capitalized. So now, all for the players, if you want to hear the music that I'm playing on Albert Rodeo, just make sure to hit that tracks button at the top left-hand side so that you can unmute the music. If you'd like to hear it as we go. And for those of you tuning in, thank you for joining us. We are here to play some D&D, episode 4 of the Barren Lands. If you would like to follow along, we would love that. And yeah, we're just going to dive in and we're going to get rolling. A brief recap from last time. The group had basically met this orc, or they at least... It would seem to be an orc, judging by the fact that that's the language it's speaking. And it's been speaking with a voice that would lead the group to believe that it's possibly a female orc. With that being said, it has not removed its mask. And Valenthi and Luna were in the middle of talking. Luna seems to understand orc at least enough to give some rough translations, though there has been some doubt cast that her translations are 100% accurate. But anyway, with that being said, we're going to pick off right where we left off. The only thing to note is that Sol has gone on a scouting mission. Unfortunately, he will not be joining us tonight. But Hector will be returning. And in fact, Hector, we're going to go to you first, quickly. Returning from your basically your foray east. So your character, oh, wait a minute. Actually, no, your character spent the night.
Yeah.
So we're going to I'm going to change my mind about that, Waz. We're going to come to here in just a little bit. That'll change the timing just a tiny bit. So let's go to just the group, Valenthi, Omen, and Faylene, who are talking to this orc person. So Valenthi, why don't you start it off? If I remember correctly, you were about to ask her a question, and the last thing she said was, when you were drawing the symbols in the snow, she pointed at you and asked something that Luna had trouble understanding. Luna said, she's either asking us if we are gods, or she's asking if we came from the gods. And that was where we left off last time. So
now, from what also I remember is that Valenthi picked up that she was not being truthful, or was she just not translating correctly?
It sounded to the bystander who was not paying attention, it would have sounded like she was fumbling with the translation, but Valenthi did sense a bit of deception. The fumbling might have been a result of her kind of trying to change the translation on purpose.
Okay. So that, so Valenthi's not going to trust much of her translation.
So it is an open game. Anyone can act, except for Waz. I'm sorry, Waz. We'll come to you just a little bit.
So I just want to say something real quick, William.
Okay.
So when we did the insight check on her, if I remember correctly, your character doesn't know this because we're not talking to each other, but I got a little more insight into Luna's translation than you did. But you're sort of suspicious as well. So go ahead. I just wanted to let everyone know who was watching that Omen was able to. I rolled super high on that roll. So at any rate, continue. I'm sorry to interrupt.
No problem.
Hey, Diva.
Let's see here. I'm going to. I know we leveled.
It's okay.
Yes.
Are we able to use those spells?
Yes. You can use them. You can use everything you got immediately at this point.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and cast Speak with Animals.
Smart.
Let's see.
Because that big old hawk is on the person's shoulder now, right?
Yes. It is a hawk. It flew over, seemed to scout you, Phaline and Omen, out a bit, and then it landed on her shoulder.
Right.
I think that's correct. I had one. It says I have one slot. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and just cast Speak with Animals on the hawk.
Very good. Very good.
And if that all goes through, I will go ahead and ask the hawk and say, do you understand your master? Do you understand, or not master, but do you understand your friend there?
So the
what
hawk
she's trying to
suddenly
communicate.
It suddenly kind of turns its head, its beak pointing to the side, and it looks you up and down with one of its eyes, very, very startled. And then it kind of like walks over to the edge of her shoulder, and it like looks really close at you. And then it kind of does a squawking, like a hawk-like squawk, and you realize it's saying yes. And it seems kind of surprised.
Can you translate for me? What did she say? I cannot understand her language.
Let's see. The hawk is going to say, it's actually a good question. How would it translate that? It's going to say, she's asking who you are. In a hawk-like way. There's kind of a squawking and a fluttering of wings, but the translation is basically she's asking who you are.
Is Valanthe also squawking? Is that how it sounds to everybody else?
Oh, that's a good question. Well, how would you say the spell is manifesting? I think, Valanthe, you could kind of choose whether you're speaking the hawk language or whether your words are just kind of like resonating with the creature magically.
I would say it's probably resonating.
Okay.
The magic is kind of switching it into its mind to understand it.
Gotcha.
That would be interesting, though.
you see her kind of glance up at the hawk and glance at you. You can't really see her eyes through the mask, but she seems to be wondering what the heck's going on.
And I'll ask the hawk, are you able to talk to her?
The hawk is going to kind of flutter and be like, not like this.
And she nods. Very well. One way is good enough. And she Valanthe will try to use gestures as best as she can, once again, to try to explain that she'll just point around, kind of giving shrugs as she points at the land, and move her hands in a way that hopefully signifies that they are not from here. I'm not quite sure what mechanics that would be, I guess, but yeah, she just trying to gesture and trying to wave her hands at her in that sense.
Roll a performance check.
All right.
And then Phaline and Omen, do you guys want to stay back where you are, or did you want to come closer?
I want to say something to Phaline before we move. So I reaffirmed to Phaline that the girl Luna is speaking with cotton in her mouth. She's being deceptive.
Okay. Phaline is kind of like, I don't think she you see her nod in acknowledgement. I don't think she has anything to say about that particularly right now, but is like make sure that you see that she heard you.
Gotcha.
But then she'll creep a little bit closer. She still wants to kind of stay behind the rocks. And calling down to Valanthe, she'll say in Elvish to Valanthe, ask her what people she is from. What is their name? What mountain is this?
So suddenly, Faylene, as you get closer and you call down, the hawk squawks and it bats its wings and flies up into the air. And Valenti, you hear the hawk kind of shout, "Someone's approaching from above," and then it flies up into the air and starts circling its master basically. And then Valenti, you see the orc kind of look up and then hold up her staff in kind of like alarm. And she seems to be she takes a step back, like she's a little on edge that she heard Phalene's voice from atop the rocks.
Valanthe will try to tell the hawk that she is with me. We are all lost, and she'll like also put her hands out like holding him in kind of a peaceful way toward the stranger and point toward Faylene and then point to herself, trying to signify that they're together. And she'll like hold her hands up in a peaceful manner. And she'll
Oh, go ahead.
she'll go ahead. She doesn't want to do that, but she'll go ahead and she's going to put her bow and arrows down on the ground and take
now, I want to confirm real quick. Faylene, you were talking to Valenti, right?
Yeah.
When you were saying, okay, never mind. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Valenti. I just wanted to check real quick.
Yeah, she's going to take a step back from the bow and arrows and keep her hands holding up. Trying to see what she does now.
As Valenti is doing this, Luna whispers to her, "We could probably take her. I could tackle her."
Valenthe's like, no.
She says, "Then we could question her."
Valenthe will give her a stern look. Just stand back.
Luna's going to say, Luna's going to say, I have a really bad feeling about this. I don't think she's very nice. I don't think we should trust her. You see Luna just like staring at the orc, very, 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 very like concentrated, and she almost has this like angry look on her face.
So I want to quickly, one thing, I'm sorry to interrupt. I can't move my character.
Oh, you can't move it? Here, let me fix
I don't know. I could before, and all of a sudden now it seems locked, and I keep pushing the hand button, but nothing's really happening. Sorry about that.
Try that. Does that work?
There we go. All right, so I want to move stealthily as far as I can, and I'm looking at the sky where the hawk went.
It's just circling right around, like basically like the 20 feet radius around the orc. It's just circling.
Okay.
And squawking.
So should I roll a stealth check then?
Yeah, go for it.
Thank you.
Now, when you put the bow down, Valenti should roll a persuasion check.
I did roll a 14 on my performance.
Oh yeah, okay, that's right. We were doing a performance. Okay. This orc is she's gonna say a few words in orc. 12? Okay. She's gonna say a few words in orc. Luna's gonna translate and say, she's repeating her question. She wants to know if the gods have sent you. And if so, do you intend to do harm or good?
I rolled a 17 on performance.
Oh.
She seems to be looking at you, Valenthe, like she seems to be somewhat, looking at you, talking to you, seems to be trusting you to a point. She's not bolting or anything,
And she'll try to... How far is the hawk up in the air?
The hawk is 30 feet in the air, and it's circling around her at a 20-foot radius.
I'll try to tell the hawk. Is there any way that you can tell her we mean no harm? And
The hawk is going to shriek down, "Danger! Danger!"
and is there someone else here besides us? She's trying to figure out.
The hawk kind of breaks away from its thing and then does like a dive bomb toward Faline and Omen. It like dives down just out of reach of you two, like, and then kind of shrieks and then flies back up into the air. And then it shouts, "Danger! Danger!" It's like shrieking.
And I'll say, they are with me. They are just keeping watch. And she'll say, we do not know who to trust either. And then she will look at the orc lady and she'll point back again at herself and then at the mountains, trying to signify still with that, I guess, with the, I don't know, maybe the performance roll to signify that they're with her, and trying to keep her arms again, like meaning peace. And then she'll say, she'll try to signify also that she doesn't understand her language.
The girl will step closer again, and then she'll actually come right up to Valenti. This is the closest she's gotten to Valenti.
I'll keep an eye on Luna too, just to make sure she doesn't try anything. If she tries anything, I'm tackling her.
Luna's staring daggers into this girl. Like, you're surprised by how angry Luna looks. She looks very, very angry, actually. You notice when this girl gets closer, you see that she's carrying what looks like a bone-handled knife, but it's in a sheath, like a fur leather sheath, and you see that she has a bolo on her belt. But she comes closer, and then she reaches up and she slowly removes her mask. And when she does so, you see a very kind of rough, like when I say rough, like several scars. Looks like she's definitely seen her fair share of like maybe combat, battle, maybe animal scratches or what those are. But she has these bright blue eyes, very feminine, orcish features. Definitely looks like a female from here. Like small, graceful tusks, long white braided hair. And you see that she has some kind of like bone necklace kind of things hanging around her neck. And she kind of looks at you, and then she would hold out a hand. Like she's got these big kind of like gloves on, like big furry gloves. And she holds out a hand to Valenti in what looks like a peaceful gesture. It's like palm up. There's nothing in her hand, but she reaches out.
Yeah, so Valenti understands how she feels toward orcs too, but in this land right now, she also understands about survival. So she's going to do the exact same thing and try to mirror what she's doing.
Oh, I should also mention her skin is, Valenti would be surprised. I almost forgot this. She'd be surprised to see that her skin is this like white, like the snow. She is like a white orc.
Huh.
Yes.
Well, that is different. So Valenti quite doesn't know what to think of this. So at that point,
and just to clarify, when I say white, I don't mean like Caucasian. I mean like literally
like
white,
albino
like
white.
snow.
Yeah,
like albino white.
Yeah. Valenti is going to go ahead and just mirror that same exact motion that she's doing. This time, she's not quite sensing the same things that she would. She's not looking at her the same way she would look at a normal orc, I guess. So, yeah, she'll mirror it.
Okay, so as this is happening, suddenly you guys hear what sounds like a piercing whistle come from somewhere off to the north, like amongst the rocks and the ledges. And it sounds like you could almost mistake it for a bird, but it's a very distinct oscillating whistle. And suddenly her head, kind of jerks around and she looks behind her. And then you hear her give she does like a clicking sound with her mouth, and then her hawk instantly comes down and lands on her shoulder. And then she turns to you and she speaks really quickly. She says a whole bunch of words in Orc. And then Luna, it will translate for you while she's saying it. Luna's going to say, she says those are her people. She says she has to return. She says don't follow. She says if you go into the woods, be careful. There are dangerous things in the woods.
Oh,
And
so
then
hard.
Luna will also say, and then you kind of hear Luna almost like stammer, like she doesn't want to say this next thing, but then it just kind of rolls out of her mouth. She says she'll find you later.
Because of how weird everybody's been around Luna lately, and based on what Mr. Vincent as Omen told me, can I roll an insight check on Luna?
Yes, go for it. Now, with that being said, this girl would basically turn heel and just take off sprinting. But if anyone wants to do anything before, you see her basically preparing to do that. But if anyone wants to act before she does that, you can.
Can I ask which way does it seem like she's going to travel?
Looks like she's going to go straight north.
Isn't that walled off? How is she going to do that?
Well, on this map, the north is actually up, so it looks like she's going to run along the ridge, basically. But it is a little unknown because these ledges are very rocky and there's a lot of ups and downs, and there are a lot of places where it becomes kind of impassable. So,
all right,
Omen
so
is.
I will ask a question then, since I'm up on this ledge up top here. Can I determine, or can I see where the whistle came from? I mean,
roll me a
can
perception.
I see? Thank you.
What was your insight check?
It was a 7. I can't believe this. My passive insight was 15.
Luna definitely looks kind of angry as she's looking at this orc.
15.
So when you look up ahead, you see that there's just enough kind of snowfall and the rocks and the white, the whole horizon just kind of blends into a white mass. Wherever that whistle came from, you're pretty sure that it came from beyond 60 feet. It was way out there. Maybe
Okay.
Maybe
Thank you.
100 yards.
I wanted to determine the distance of or just some sort of idea. That's fine. So I will then move so that they can all see me down here, and I'll just jump down.
Okay. Is anyone going to do anything else before she just takes off sprinting?
No, if I'm not really sure how to handle that because I don't trust Luna, so I'm gonna let her go, and then I'm going to grab my once she's far away, I'm just gonna grab my weapons, and then I'm gonna step in front of Luna.
As they're running off, the hawk shrieks one thing back at you. It turns and shrieks back at you, Valentia. It shrieks, "Cave."
Huh.
And then, before you know it, this girl who runs surprisingly fast in the snow and on the rocks, before you know it, she has run so far ahead that she moves out of your range of sight.
And Valencia will go ahead and ask Luna, "Why do you have such aggression toward that woman? Why are you angry?"
Luna would kind of look at Valencia with she would look at Valencia with a how would you say it? Kind of this almost defiant look, and she would say, "I just didn't get a good vibe from her. She seemed like she was up to something to me. I don't know. I have a feeling it's some kind of trap. She mentioned her people. Maybe she's trying to lure us into some kind of trap. I just wouldn't trust her."
And she says, "Why would she be trying to lure us as she says not to follow?"
She shrugs her shoulders. She's like, "I don't know, maybe reverse psychology."
I just did a 16 insight check on Luna.
Let's take a look. You really get the sense she's not telling you everything. There's a lot that she's not telling you.
All right, so I'm going to step, since I'm down here with next to both of them. I'll just step up to her and go, "Why are you being deceptive?"
She's going to kind of look surprised. She's like, "I'm not being deceptive.
You're lying. Speak truth now."
Now, at this point, we're going to change scenes real quick to Waz. Just real quick. We're going to take a read. So, Waz, your character... well, actually, let me think about this. Man, you're a... Okay, here's what we're going to say, Waz.
Look,
Because of the way the timing is working out,
yep.
we're going to say...
I'm happy to wait till you guys catch up to where Hector is.
Well, we could
I'm
do
happy
that, but
to
I
sit
don't
here and
want you
wait.
to... The only...
It's all right by me.
It's all right. We could either have you wait until they catch up to your time, or we could say that you did your things earlier than we talked about in the Discord, and they're already done, and then you hear this going on because they're near your campsite. Which would you prefer? Which one would you rather do? Oh, are you still there, Waz? Did we lose him?
Oh yeah, looks frozen.
It's frozen.
Oh,
It's cold out there.
it is cold out there.
Little refresh is coming up.
Maybe so, maybe so. Well, we'll give him a minute to jump back in here. Omen, let's go ahead with your scene. You're talking to her.
Thank you. So I just said, "You're lying. Tell the truth now."
She's gonna kind of step back a little bit, like from you, and she's gonna
Into
be
the
like,
rocks.
well, yeah, she backs into the rocks, like she
Okay.
she doesn't really have anywhere to go, and she's gonna say, "I don't know what you're talking about. I really don't. I'm in the same situation you are. I'm just trying to help, and I speak a little bit of Orc, not very well, I'll admit, but good enough that I didn't trust her."
Valentia, you want to say anything?
Valencia's just staring, and she's like, I also picked up some sort of thread in your body language. There was some sort of things off about you. And she'll just sigh. The survivor's going to be harder. And she'll just like walk off to the side and shake her head, kind of. You can see that she's kind of stressing out as far as with people, but she'll start looking and scouting to see what direction she's going to keep moving forward.
Oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry. I'll finish up right now. So I look Luna as much in the eyes as she will meet my gaze, and I will say to her, "You are deceptive. You can die here alone in the snow, for I will not travel with you." And I immediately turn around, go up the hill here, and this way, and I pass Faylene, and I say,
As you're walking away, she would call out to you, like when you get like 5-6 steps away, she would kind of call out to you. She would say, okay, I'll tell you the truth, just don't leave me behind, please." She seems to kind of respond to the threat of being left behind.
So I'll stand at the top of this rock that I just moved to, and my back is still to her, but I'm standing next to Faylene. She can say what she wants.
She's going to say, "Okay, the truth is I come from a place," and she kind of looks around, "quite similar to this. And I think that the goddess I worship, I don't know if she's followed me here, or I don't know if she's watching me, but I have been sensing her presence." And then she kind of like looks down and she's like, "And I will admit that's probably not a good thing. And I'm just extra on edge. I serve a goddess who is quite evil, and I didn't know until I was already in too deep. I don't want it to affect our survival here, but she uses tricks, and I'm just really suspicious of anything that comes across us. That's the truth.
Can I roll for insight?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, I was going to ask if I could.
Yeah, go for it. You guys can all roll for insight.
Oh, finally. Okay, I got an 18.
So you detect that there's a lot of truth in that. You still kind of get the sense that she's not telling you everything, but you do get the sense that what she just told you, at least the majority of it, is either true or she believes it's true. It's still a little off. You're still picking up a little weirdness, but a lot of what she just said
Feline,
sounded very like she believes it, at least.
I think sensing the tension in not in the room, but in the group, Feline would kind of put up her hands and be like, I know we have all been challenged by this dynamic here, and I am not exempting myself from that. But I am sure all of us here have something that we would prefer a group of strangers not to know right away. Yes?
Luna nods her head.
This goddess, what do you mean you sense her? Like, what kind of connection do you have?
You see her kind of like wring her hands a little bit. She acts very standoffish, like she doesn't really want to answer. She's like, I don't want to say her name, but let me put it this way. She is not good. And let's just say that she likes to have her followers do things for her that are also not good. I used to worship her because I needed help at a very dark time. But now she kind of looks around. She's like, I would rather just kind of like not talk about her, and I kind of hope she moves on. Maybe if I follow you, you all seem like actually good people. Maybe if I follow you long enough, she'll either lose interest in me or maybe it'll change something. I will admit I'm not incredibly knowledgeable about matters of the divine.
And Feline will say, nor I do not know much, but I do not need the details, but when is the last time you did what you call a not good act in her name?
She's going to say, during the fight with or no, it wasn't that. After the fight with the scorpion, she healed somebody. I can't remember exactly who it was. I think it was Hector. I can't exactly remember. But she healed someone. But she's going to say, for me, while healing might seem like a good act, actually, I'm calling on the dark magic of my goddess to use those powers for healing. And she says it does take a toll. It's not a good act.
And she just says, well, do not do it anymore. Why do you do it if it is not a good thing? This does not make sense. You stop, and maybe we'll trust you. Okay?
She's like, she shrugs. It's just if someone needs healing, it just seems like I kind of have to. It's like it's how I make myself useful. I really don't want to get left behind. If I have to use these powers to be useful, I'd rather do that than get kicked out for just being a useless, weak, I don't know, someone who's taking up a suit of cold weather clothes.
There are many ways to contribute that do not need to rely on magic. You can forage, you can fight, you can find things, you can translate sometimes, right?
She nods. I'll do anything. I'll do anything I can. You kind of see a little bit of like a look in her eye, like a look of desperation. She's like, "Please don't leave me behind. I'm really just trying to help."
Faylene doesn't want to leave her behind. Like she's being very genuine and like just her, expressing find other ways to contribute. So Faylene kind of knows what she sort of wants to say and do, but I'll let other people talk to Luna if they would like.
Well, my back is still to Luna. And Faylene, are you still standing right next to me?
Yeah, Faylene's staying up on the ridge.
All right, so with my back to Luna and you standing beside me, I say, I just left a realm full of nothing but deceit and evil. I will not mentor someone or trust someone that might slit my throat in the night.
Luna's going to say, "I swear I would never do that. I only want to help."
The sad reality is you could all slit my throat in the night. I do not know what to do with you all.
Faylene, I wouldn't slit your throat. You know that by now, I would hope.
Does she still have... Who's got, like, the scorpion bit?
I have a brain and I have the venom in my alchemist supply kit.
I had, like, what do you call it? I guess the ends of the feet is what I was going to try to use in the future to make daggers out of.
Mm-hmm.
You
what
guys would
does-
know Luna collected some blood. She has some scorpion blood on her.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Knowing what she did with the blood earlier, Faylene's actually going to jump down and come over and hold out a hand and be like, give it to me. Give me the blood.
She's like, "The scorpion blood?"
Yes, give it to me.
She kind of hesitates for a minute. Then she reaches in her like pockets and pulls out these 2 vials of blood and hands them to you.
She says, thank you. You can have this when you've earned some trust. For now, find another way to make yourself useful. And she will put it in her pocket. Oh, she'll also ask for any other vials that she has.
Give them all.
She's gonna say, "I don't have any." She like turns her pockets inside out to show you.
Okay.
She's gonna say, "Are you saying no magic?"
I am saying no magic for you.
She's like, "Okay." She looks actually kind of excited, like excited as in she's not getting left behind. She looks kind of excited. She's like, "Okay, I won't do it anymore. I promise."
Faylene will say, magic can be dangerous the way fire is dangerous. And anyone who forgets gets burned. No more for you. And just follow Valente.
Luna follows along as well.
That's rich coming from the last person that lit a fire under some poor little baby's butt.
Now, Valente, are
Sorry.
you?
Faylene knows
You're
she's
fine.
a hypocrite. It's cool.
Luna doesn't know enough to know.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And neither does Ovid. So.
I'm
Valente,
chuckling to
what's your
myself on that.
Valente? What's your game plan? Are you like basically continuing to travel, or are you?
Yeah. I
going
had
to-
already started traveling. I was kind of ahead of them again. I was
basically
going to
trying
try
to
to
reach
scout
the-
and try to find the same kind of. I really need to rest so I can get some spells back. But she's beat up too. So let's say, yeah, she's just scouting to try to find the same path, trying to get to the forest.
Gotcha. Okay.
She already
So-
like moved forward. She figured she'll let them handle their thing back there.
So
Their
if,
thing.
if you guys continue traveling, you're gonna come to a. I'm gonna find this. Okay, give me one moment to.
What I'm trying to do is find somewhere where I can rest for 4 hours at least.
Gotcha. So you guys, Oh, I gotta go back to those. I gotta grab your characters. One second. We're getting there. I'm figuring it out little by little.
It's all good, boss.
Whoops, no, that's not the way. That is not the way.
This is the way.
Hey, thanks for everybody who's tuning in right now while we go through the map change. We appreciate
Yes.
you. We appreciate you. Hit a like if you haven't already. We'd love it.
Yes, thank you for joining us. It's super fun to have people dropping comments too.
Yeah.
Super fun. All right, now I need to grab my.
What the heck should I do, chat? What should I do, chat, with this lunatic? Lunatic. Lunatic. It just kind of happened. I don't know. I got to write that in there. Lunatic.
Whoa. More
So-
light.
You guys continue traveling. You leave that ridge section and you get to a more flat plain as you continue to head east. The way is pretty smooth going here, and it's not long before you actually notice that there is actually would Hector have lit a fire?
What about Lotto?
Yeah, we had a little fire.
Okay. And it's actually it's starting to get dark. It's getting quite dark. And I'm gonna just go ahead and fast forward time. Actually, this might be helpful to reconnect you guys with Waz. Would that be okay?
Yeah.
All right. So you guys basically continue to travel until it starts to get dark, and it gets darker and darker. But then you kind of smell the faint smell of what smells like wood smoke. And not too long after noticing it, a voice calls out to you, a familiar voice, the voice of Lotto, actually. And he kind of shouts, "Hey, it's you guys." And at this point,
Just a quick question. Is this before or after the notes that I have?
this would be a group. Would you guys have been okay with traveling fast and late into the night
Yeah.
for story purposes?
Hey, yeah, I mean it's Valanthi. Yeah. Valanthi would have just been
Right,
looking
the
either
goal-
for
the
a
goal is
cave
to reach the
and
tree
moving
line,
forward until
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay, in that case, then no, we're gonna say you guys meet up with them just after midnight,
Ooh,
and they have secured a pretty nice campsite, and they have a little fire going, and it seems like a
I
great
think
place
there's
to
a little
chop.
bit of scorpion meat on sticks as well.
When you guys arrive at the camp, Lotto comes up to you guys and actually gives you guys all big hugs. And he's going to say, "I know I haven't known you for very long, but I have to say I'm happy to see you."
Feline will opt out of the hug. Yes, nice to see you, and just kind of dodge around it. Go
Yeah,
take
Valanthi.
it.
Valanthi will go and try to find a little nestled area somewhere before that happens.
Okay. That's okay. It doesn't take much of some leftover scorpion to distract Lotto, and he sits back down at the fire. But anyway, so you guys, if you want to make camp and do a rest, you can. I know you were talking about doing a rest, Valenthi.
Yes.
Is this something that all the characters would mirror, wanting to take like a rest?
Yes.
I'm doing my trance, keeping one eye open.
Yes. Okay, so how many hours do you guys want to rest?
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, go for it.
So we leveled up. So what
Yes.
does that do to our hit points from the wounds that we suffered before? I mean,
So basically, what I usually do when you level up is you keep the damage you had, but you do gain the hit points that you gained with that new level. So you
Okay.
get them. So technically, you kind of heal for the amount of hit points you get for
I
that
gotcha.
level, but you still retain.
So I'm up to 15. My max is 26. That's just what I wanted to know. That's cool. Thank you.
All right. Do you guys want to take a full 8-hour rest?
Well, Valenthe just needs the 4 hours, but she'll keep watch the rest of the 4 hours.
Feline would ask who is going to keep watch if it seems pretty obvious that we're all going to be taking turns resting.
Yeah, I'll take watch.
Well, Hector's halfway through a long rest at the moment, so
would it be safe to say you're just gonna go kind of take turns until you would figure that 8 hours from now would be about an hour after sunrise, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Does that sound like a good place for the group to rest? Like, is that what you'd like to do? Basically, plan to stay here until an hour after sunrise.
Yeah. Feline
right,
would say essentially yes, we let's all take turns, but not you, Luna. You get to sit right next to me the whole time.
Luna's like, oh, okay. She sits next to
A little too chipper about it.
Yeah, and
So,
like I said, Valenthe will
yeah.
just do the 4 hours and then keep working on her arrows and try to make more arrows.
Oh, okay. Is she gonna? So if she's gonna spend 4 hours crafting arrows, go ahead and make the crafting check.
Yeah, after she rests. So, should I do the long rest order?
Yeah. Well, no. Go ahead and so we'll just skip to the arrow crafting part. Let me double check. Nothing crazy happens. No,
Oh.
your for the first 4 hours of the rest go very, very
Let's see.
normally. Nothing happens really. You don't even hear any animals.
Hold on, I leveled up. I gotta see something.
So while he's doing that, I moved whatever 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45 feet away from where Hector and the fire is, and I'm just chilling out up here, just kind of going into my meditative state and
Okay.
keeping
Is that where you're
keeping
going to
my
rest?
eye over the area.
Okay. All right. Very good.
do you have cold protection there?
I don't know how cold
Do you
is
have-
it, GMP.
Oh, it's about -40 right now. So everyone,
Yeah.
if anyone, I'm assuming everyone has clothes on, but if they don't, you would want to. Well, does everyone have at least some form of
Yes,
warm clothing?
or at least I do.
Everybody ended up getting clothes, but Lotto actually. Maybe that's
Lotto
not true,
has
but...
not actually gotten clothes, so he
Yeah.
has been really cold, and he's sitting right by the fire.
Yeah. He's been all right at night because Hector shares his robe. He turns it into a blanket.
But yeah, no, Lotto looks very exhausted and very cold. Okay, so Valenthe, did you make your crafting check?
Yeah, I rolled a 22.
A 22? Oh, nice. Okay, you should roll a D6, and that's how many arrows you can craft in the 4 hours after your rest.
Sweet. 5 more arrows added. All right.
The second 4 hours, is anyone gonna do anything special or just pass the time?
I'm
Yeah.
gonna
Oh, go
I'm going to
ahead.
continue to try to get my sling put together with the
Oh.
pieces that I had.
Just make a quick an intelligence check. That's a pretty simple thing to get together. Actually, you could roll on survival if that's whichever's better.
It's the same.
Okay, yeah.
It's a +1. Let's see what happens here. Come on. Hey, how about that?
Oh yeah, you easily get your sling together.
Yay, I got a sling. Now I got a sling and a chef's knife. Woohoo, look out.
Heck yeah.
Right on. Thank you.
After Valenthe does her rest, she'll start with her elven eyes. Just move around the campsite, try to scout and figure out the best way if she can figure out how far the forest is or anything like that.
How far out is she gonna roam?
She'll stay within let's say 60 to 80 feet around the campsite.
Okay, so when she goes up to so she's gonna go further than Omen is up there, isn't she? 5, 10.
Yeah. And if she can find any kind of high ground or anything like that.
So if she goes 80 feet, 80 feet beyond, so if she goes 80 feet, which is basically twice as far away as Omen is, she kind of gets the sense that the ground starts to slope up a bit and gets rocky again, almost like ridge-like again. Definitely no sign of woods yet.
All right.
Dang it.
Which direction was that? Sorry.
That was to the when she went north, she noticed that the ground was starting to get a little rocky again.
And that's to the north, not the east, because the forest is to the east, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. All right. That's good enough. I'll wait until sunrise.
So the night passes without incident, and as the sun starts to rise over the horizon, you guys realize that the kind of the blustery weather has passed and the sky is opening up. You see, for the first time since being here, blue sky, and it is cold, but it's not as bitter cold. It's actually maybe approaching -20, which is the warmest it's been since you've been here.
Valenthe still hates this area. She misses her warm woods.
She's like, oh, this is perfect weather. And just looks up at the blue sky. It's such a beautiful morning.
Hector wakes up. He's got a smile on his face. But as he tries to open his eyes, it is blindingly bright for him. He's struggling to see anything. And he's going, what the hell's going on? I can't see. Why is it so bright?
That's called sunshine, my friend. Sunshine.
Oh, I don't like it. And he pulls his robe up and over his head so his whole face is in shadow again. Oh, that's better.
You guys all sense your stomachs getting a little hungry as the morning approaches. Are you guys going to eat anything, or are you just going to head out?
We have 4 rations that we haven't touched, correct?
I'm not actually.
We ate the scorpion instead, yeah?
Well, there's a little bit of the scorpion left, I think.
And Valenthe has been dropping good berries every so often.
Feline will ask if she can have some of the scorpion. She hasn't actually eaten anything yet, but she's seen that they are not dead and poisoned from the scorpion, and so we'll ask for some.
Did you have a note of how much scorpion there was, Hector?
No, I don't.
Okay,
sorry.
Here, I'll roll on it. So this is how many portions of scorpion are left. 2 portions.
again, I'll just ask one more time. Did anybody grab the 4 rations that were in the cabin, and did we eat those?
I didn't.
If nobody grabbed them, you can say you grabbed them, Omen, if you'd like.
Yeah.
All right, then I grabbed them. Thanks. I mean, I did grab some stuff before I left, but I didn't know what everybody else took, so I wasn't really able to,
Yeah.
But I took
So-
very minimal anyway. But
So right now you guys have four rations and then 2 portions of scorpion, which makes up a total of 6 days of rations for one person. So it's like if there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of you. Valenti, are you still on the? Oh yeah. If there are 6 of you, that means you have enough food to last you today, and then you'll be back to no food without the good berries, of course.
so I approached the group, and I approach Faylene, and I say, Faylene, and I hand her the 4 rations.
She seems a little confused. She's like, I only need 1.
Well, I'm handing these to you. Where is Valentia?
No, I never know where that one is. She always walks off. It's so
Well, we will save
confusing.
one. We will save one for her. I give one to you. Lotto,
Oh yes.
take this other ration. You might need it.
Oh, thank you. He accepts it gladly, and he smells it, unwraps it, and he goes, ooh. And then he starts to chow down on it.
Did anybody, sorry, one more thing from the inventory, have the bedroll? Because that would be the only other thing I think Feline would have grabbed if nobody else did.
I don't think any. Neither of the NPCs grabbed it.
Okay.
And we didn't
So-
use it to make
Yeah.
anything with. We were going to, but that kind of fell by the way from my memory.
I think in that case, Feline, she'd look at Lotto, and seeing that Omen is giving him something, she's like, You're sure you're not a soldier, right? No army training?
Lotto is going to say, no, I'm an athlete, actually. I wrestle. I'm a professional wrestler, actually. I've earned quite a bit of coin. If we can get back from here, I was actually having a new foal delivered. I collect horses.
Can I insight roll on him, please?
Sure, yeah.
That's a 17.
He seems to be telling the truth. And then he's going to say, oh, by the way, I don't think I've properly introduced myself. Lotto Earthkin is my name.
Earthkin?
Earthkin, yes. The name was chosen by my great-grandfather, who was also a wrestler. And then he's going to kind of take your hand, if you would allow him, and he's going to kind of bow and touch his forehead to it.
Feline will let him do it, and then she kind of just is like, oh, okay, and like takes her hand back. It's like she's not trying to be rude, but just like, I'm not really sure what that means. And she's well,
he doesn't seem to pay much mind to pulling your hand away. He just goes back to eating his ration.
So, go ahead.
Oh, she's like, so you wrestle like dogs, but you don't need to be wet like one, and hands him the bedroll and will say, you can use this until I can make you a suit.
Oh, he kind of takes it, and he would kind of get himself a rock and kind of cut a hole in the middle of it and kind of make it into a poncho kind of thing.
Nice. That's cute. Oh.
And then he would drape it over him and tie it in the middle. And he would be like, this is very good. Thank you so much. My appreciation to you.
Yes, my name is Faylene. You can call me that.
Faylene, it is a pleasure. If we have to be stranded in this wasteland, it is good that I'm in the pleasure of such good company. Hector and I passed a very easy night on this scouting mission. Unfortunately,
what
we
were you
didn't.
and Hector doing?
He says, "Well, scouting, but I'm afraid there wasn't much of anything to be seen. I'm hoping the woods will yield more food and fuel."
And she'll look at both of them and she'll ask them, "You didn't run or see signs of any people, did you?"
Oh, no.
Hmm.
Should we have? Are there people here?
Um,
If so, we should try to track them down and see if they will help us. We are a
We-
bit destitute.
did run into some people, and she'll look at Luna as just a "don't you say a goddamn word," and she's like, "We, the communication was rough, but these people, the person we did run into, seemed well equipped for the area and familiar with our surroundings. Now, I know we have some of the scorpion left, but I think it could be something that perhaps they'd be willing to trade goods or information for parts of our find."
Lotto nods. I would trade the whole thing for a steak. He says, or a good leg of mutton.
What do you think, Omen? Do you think perhaps we should try trading with whoever lives nearby?
Valenthe, you should roll a perception check.
Ooh. All right.
In the meantime, Hector's finally got himself up off the ground. Takes him a little while. He's still a bit wobbly on the leg. And you can see there's something different about him. He seems less intense. His shoulders are a bit less hunched.
As you're scouting
And-
Valenthe. Oh, sorry, Hector.
Yep.
Go ahead.
And if you look closely at his hands, the shadows are acting differently on his hands.
What is that? It's like, what's wrong with your hands?
He turns them over and palm up towards you. Death visited. And on the palm of each hand is a brand new tattoo of the death's head moth in the middle of his palm.
That's a very pretty insect
Insect.
on your hand.
I don't
It's
think- It's more than an insect. It means that Death and I are together. Means I am his representative.
Lotto clears his throat uncomfortably.
And I
I'm not here to kill you. Don't get me wrong. I'm not here to kill you.
Oh, I
I'm
believe you,
Death's
friend.
representative.
Yes,
I am only here to shepherd those that need shepherding. The
Okay.
time is not my choice. I don't choose when people die.
Lotto kind of leans in. He's like, "But do you know when they will? Is that something you could
Sometimes.
foretell?" Oh,
But only sometimes.
That sounds
So-
very vague.
so while
Everything
Lotto
is
is
Faylene, you see
Sorry.
Luna kind of look at you with a look that kind of very obviously says, "So I'm not allowed to use magic, but this guy is." That's kind of the attitude she gives you with her eyes.
I'll
Very
hold
sarcastic.
my response because I know other people want to say things, but duly noted.
So as I handed Lotto this rations and he was eating on it and talking to Hector, I place my hand upon Lotto's shoulder and I say, "Would you walk with me for a moment, fine sir?"
I will. He
And
gets
I,
up
I
off the ground with surprising agility
and
for
I
his large size.
turn him away from the group and walk him slightly away. And as we're walking, I say, "You've spoken much about training,
Yes.
Watto. Tell me about your training."
Well, on an average day, I will consume 4 plates of eggs, meat, rice, various fruits. And then I will begin my squats, my deadlifts. I'll pull the weighted sled. I will wrestle the rest of the stable along with the other champions. Some days I will engage in ox wrestling to build my muscles. Some days I will lift boulders. Sometimes I will go on runs, short sprints, not long runs. Some days I will push the weighted sled with my shoulder. He kind of like gives you the motion.
What do you call your art?
He says, we call it the art of the earth, the art of the boulder.
That is,
Reacquainting your foe with the earth as you drive them into it.
who is your master?
My master is actually an elf. His name is Felwyn. Felwyn Roland. He's quite scary.
And where did you do your training?
He says, well, our stable is right outside of Greyhawk City.
Interesting, very interesting. I too am a practitioner of the martial arts.
Oh,
I would,
are you
at
an
some
athlete?
point, train with you if you will have me.
I would be honored.
Now is not the time. Are you a stable boy to the one-legged man over there?
Am I a what?
Are you his servant, his manservant?
Oh, not that I'm aware. I considered us traveling companions. Why? Did he say something to you? He
It
kind
is
of
my
cocks an
perception.
eyebrow.
It is my perception that you should be wary of him. At any rate, you will do what you will. I will not
Oh.
travel with him.
Oh, is something wrong? I am very curious now.
He smells of death to me, and I do not like the smell of death.
I don't know that I know what death smells like. I will say that he was a pleasant enough traveling companion. We mostly did not speak.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Well,
Is
I
it
would
like
hear more.
is it like a I mean, he can't really steal from me. I have no belongings.
He could steal your soul if you
Oh,
had one.
is such a thing possible?
My friend, in these worlds, you know everything is possible if you come from Greyhawk. I too am
Well,
familiar with Greyhawk.
I've heard of wizards and the like, but I mean, I don't much rub shoulders with them, if you know what I mean. I mostly spend time with other athletes. We fight in the Coliseum, twice per year. That's how I've made my fortune.
Fortunes won and lost. Well, you are far away from the Coliseum now, my friend. You're in a new Coliseum. Perhaps look at it that way.
Perhaps you're right. Perhaps this is a training mission sent by the gods. Perhaps it is because I am the greatest wrestler. Maybe I have a great destiny ahead of me. He seems to be almost lost in thought. Like, you seem to have said something that's really made him think. He almost just like looks down, and he's almost not even talking to you now. He's just like ruminating to himself out loud. You seem to have set into motion some gears in the head.
All right, so I will place my hand on his shoulder again, and I will say, "We shall see if you are the greatest fighter, or the greatest warrior, or greatest martial artist when we allow each other to train with each other. However, I think we have more pressing needs."
Yes. And I can assure you, if we meet an enemy, I shall reunite them with the ground very quickly.
And I shall watch that and smile at your art.
Now, Valenthy, you wanted to talk to Luna. Is this correct?
Yeah, I was gonna see if she'll come with me privately.
Now, Faylene, you were right next to Luna. You would hear Valenthy ask Luna to come speak with her privately, and then Luna would basically go. She's just heading out. I don't know if you care. You had told her to stay close, but she's like running after Valenthy.
I think before she leaves, she would just like kind of grab her arm and whisper in her ear, and she's like, "Right now, Soul is not here, and I am the only one willing to protect you. So don't do dumb things."
No,
and then
I
let her
promise.
go.
No magic, I swear.
No magic.
She goes running off after Valenthy. So Valenthy, she's gonna run over here and be like, "Hey, what's up?"
Valenthy lifts an eyebrow at the question, and she is. Do you hear whispers?
Sometimes, not right this second.
She's like, so these whispers you hear, are they something associated with you, or do you hear them all the time, even back in your world?
In my world, I heard them a lot more. She kind of like looks to the side when she says that, as if she's thinking kind of through what she's saying. And then she says, "But I've heard them here too, mostly at the cabin. I haven't heard them as much since then. I haven't heard them as much since I stopped using magic, which I promised Faylene I would stop using magic."
Valenthy just kind of rubs her temples, stressed out. Do these whispers, what do they sound like? What language?
She's going to say, "Oh, there really isn't a language. They just kind of land on my mind. It's more like pictures of words. It's not in a discernible language."
Were they the same here, then, compared to your world?
Oh, yeah, it was the same. I did hear one other kind of whisper, though, at the cabin. That whisper spoke a language. It was from someone different.
Elvish.
Perhaps. I didn't understand it. I just got a really bad feeling about it.
Delancey will sigh and says, we need to head east. Whenever the group is ready, tell them I'll be waiting. And she'll just head out.
Okay. She's like, "You want me to tell them we need to go?"
Whenever they're ready.
Luna's going to run back to you guys and be like, "Hey, everyone, Valenthy says when we're ready, we have to head east. I guess she wants to get a move on."
While all this is happening, can I actually be talking to Hector?
Yeah, for sure. You go ahead.
So Feline would sit like on the ground, her back to this, and she'd take out this sapling that she found while they were traveling and start like using her tent stake to carve off the bark. And as she's doing this, she would look at Hector, and I'm assuming the stuff on his hands looks very obviously magical.
That would be, I would say, make an Arcana check.
Okay.
Hector, are you showing her, or are you trying to hide the marks on your hands?
Oh no, I'm not showing. Not hiding per se, but not
Okay.
showing them.
Gotcha. she could probably see it pretty easily then.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
gotcha.
that Arcana check was like a 2.
Oh, Faylene
There's
is
magic everywhere.
Never mind.
could be a little dirt, just a smudge on the lens, probably.
Okay. Either way, she does have something she's been wanting to ask Hector, like related to his magic, because she's seen it in other areas. And she, now that they're kind of alone and the others aren't here, she would say to him, "Why are you so brazen about your magical abilities? Don't you worry about what they're going to do?"
What? I don't understand. What do you mean? These are a gift from my work with death.
Well,
These are a gift.
not everybody thinks of magic as a gift, you know what I mean? Like, how do you know that they're not going to turn on you?
Well, my relationship with death is like, I guess you would understand it better like maybe a cleric,
What's a cleric?
you know, a representative, like a on the material plane, a representative of your god.
What?
And they operate, you know, going around healing and doing nice things like that.
Do you mean like they go around their village doing nice things?
Yes. Yep. They're in the they're at the temples and the shrines, and
But
they sort of
in the
look after the
village,
temples and shrines, and then they come out to the village when the village needs someone to like do some healing and things like that, and bless the ground if they're starting something new.
why does the ground need blessing?
I don't know. I don't do that.
That sounds dumb.
But I think it's to do. Oh well, some of the villagers are quite dumb, and they believe that if they bless the ground, they'll get better crops.
But
I mean-
but don't you think in a village everyone knows one another, right? So they know when it's safe to show their magic and do nice things with their magic, right? But here we are not a village yet.
Yes, but is magic something taboo for you?
Taboo.
Yeah.
Probably.
Is it like not allowed?
It is allowed only where it is allowed, you know? It is only allowed where people say it's allowed.
That seems very strange.
What
Why
do you
would you
mean?
put why would you put those sort of strange limits on it? What,
Well,
people jealous of magic? Is
I
your,
don't know.
tell me about your world. What's going on in your world that
When you
that
say you
magic is so secretive?
she when you say world, she gets really, so you can see she's kind of like flustered and shaking her head and frustrated. She's like, why do you guys keep using that word world? Do you mean like a city? Like, is that what you mean, or is that your village? They're all called worlds.
So a world is where all the villages and all the cities that you know are. And there could be many what we call land masses. And on these land masses, you could have many cities and villages. And they're spread all over a globe. And on this globe is what we call a world.
She's like, she picks up a rock. She's like, show me on a rock.
Yeah. So Hector will start in the snow and dirt and that, start doing a whole multiverse diagram with, worlds and suns and everything everywhere.
You're
And
gonna have
he's
to
quite
talk her
happy to
out
do
of
it.
it.
And you'll say, so here we can see that there's one world where I came from. It's called, we call it the plane of shadow, actually. But it is a complete place. There's nothing outside of it but space. And then where you're from, you've got your world in it, and if you go outside of it, there's nothing but space again. But somehow there's some magic out there, and that's what I've been trying to work out with these wonderful instruments. And he pulls them out and shows her, and this one shows me that this measures this and this measures that, and this one does the cold, and this one shows me that there's planar energy coming in from somewhere, and he'll say somehow someone's tapped into that energy and brought us from all these different places in this big multiverse and put us here. From what I can work out in the notes, this place is called World Zero. I don't know what it's in relation to, but that's what it's called by this university in that Aramantium. I haven't been there. I don't know outside. Like, it's a different place. It's a different world this information has come from.
So we are on your world is this mountain here, and then this place is Mountain Zero.
Yep, we'll run with that.
Okay.
Yep, this is Mountain Zero.
And there's
I come from a
air
different
in
mountain.
between
Yep,
mountains.
Yeah. I come from a very different mountain. You can't get to it otherwise.
So we can't walk to your mountain.
No, unfortunately. We have to find magic. Now, I sense that you have magic.
You do?
You're scared. Yes.
How?
I don't know. There's just a spark about you.
No, there's not.
And well, I do have detect thoughts. So
You
I
can
will
cast
use
it if you
detect
want. Yeah.
thoughts. Yeah.
So using detect thoughts, if you
Anything?
used it on Faylene, you would see that she is actually like very deeply thinking about what you're saying, and she understood more than she's letting on, but she's also just in complete denial of it. It's like, no, that doesn't. He must mean something else. He doesn't mean a world. He means a land. That, of course, maybe there's more lands than what we know about. Or something. So there is a acknowledgement, but also a denial. And then she's also like kind of going over everything as much as she can remember at this point. And like, how would he have known? When did I show him that like I used magic? I thought I was being careful. So there is like a lot of like internal struggle and just sort of panic of I'm going to get in trouble now and I must have messed up somewhere. And what do I do?
So with all that flowing into Hector's head, he looks at Faylene sitting on the ground there and he says, "It's all right. Don't worry too much." And he casts guidance on her once again to help with the sewing and say, "Do not worry. We'll get through this together. It's a big new world that we can all explore together."
She says, okay. I might have more questions later, but not right now.
Of course. I have answers of it. Thoughts. I don't have them all. I'm not the smartest man in the world after all.
She'll laugh because she's like, that's not what you said yesterday.
Yesterday I was in pain. Today I'm not. It's amazing what a good rest and a visit from your I want to say deity, but he's not really a deity. A visit from your family can do.
She kind of goes quiet because now she's thinking and she's really into the work that she's doing and is trying not to get snappy with people again.
Valenthi, would it be safe to say that you approach at this point?
Yeah. I'm just going to inform them and see what they want to do. But Valenthi kind of knows what she's going to do already. But she wants to scout it out herself. But she's smarter than that. So she's not going to do that just yet. She walks over and she says, there is a cave to the east. And there's a large stone statue of a bear. He seems to be staring into the cave.
Lotto's going to say, this is good. That means civilization, right?
She looks over at him. I don't think so. Possibly.
What is the statue made of?
Yes. Could you tell what the statue was made out of?
Stone. It looked like pure stone.
Yeah, so she'll say, seems to be made of stone. I'm going to scout it. And then she'll just keep walking.
All right. Well, before you run off,
Yeah. Come back. Come back.
so I'm gonna hand Valentia the ration. I gave one to Lotto, one to Faylene. I kept one for myself, and I gave one. I'm giving now one to Valentia.
Valencia will look at it and she says, I have the ability to feed myself. But you keep it for the group.
Great. Move on then.
Valine will call after Valenthi and Elvish. Do you want somebody to come with you?
He says, I'm fine.
Deuces.
In Valenthi's head, he hears Hector's voice. Find out what that statue is made of. More than stone. And any markings. Tell me any markings when you get back.
Valencia will stop. And she's like, looks back. She looks annoyed. And she said, I don't know. She can she respond in her head? No. Okay. Well, then she just keeps going forward.
So she's going down to that cave.
Yeah.
Now, none of the rest of you want to follow?
Oh, Hector is following, but he's just far too slow.
Oh, okay.
Which way is she moving?
She's moving east.
And then she is going to get far enough when she gets to the cave because she wants to scout it. She doesn't really trust. So she's going to try to stealth her way there.
Go ahead and make a stealth check.
Let's see.
Now, you guys see a couple different things. First of all, now it is daylight. So you see this. I got to take my fog off here. There we go. But before you actually get here, I'm going to project this just onto the screen real quick so you can see it. You guys would pass by this stone statue. I'm just going to put the picture of it up here.
Nice.
Now, the thing about this statue is it is, I'm just going to make it bigger so you can see it. It's all stone and it's facing the cave entrance. Does anyone want to like examine it or anything?
Hector would if he could get up to it.
Yeah.
His
You
abilities
should
to climb up.
Valine
you
would
should
help you
roll-
up.
You could roll a perception check, or you could roll on some other skill that you think might be more relevant. But the default would be a perception check. Investigate
Well,
could also.
I was going to suggest investigation.
Yeah, go for it.
Just work out what my thingo is. Investigation is 5. Perception is 4. There you go. So, Albert over here. 20 plus 5. That's even 20.
Ooh, dirty 20. Okay, so Hector, as you're looking at this bear, you get really close and you're like looking at it, and you realize something very unusual. The detail is almost too good. Literally, the individual hairs are stone.
Okay. Is this thing, would you say it is twice the size of a bear?
It looks to be a very accurate life-sized adult bear size. Like it looks true to life size.
Yeah. All right. I will use detect magic.
When you cast detect magic, suddenly the form of the bear lights up before you. It is magical.
Okay.
Hey, I'm 60 feet back.
You can come up here if you want to.
No, I'll stay 60 feet back.
Okay. you're just letting me know. Gotcha.
Am I able to tell what school, like magic school, it comes from?
Yes. Actually. Give me one moment. I just want to double check real quick. It is transmutation.
You think?
Mm.
I'm sorry.
I just needed to make sure.
Does anyone else want to interact with the statue in any way?
Oh God, no.
Where's everybody else?
Should we put our tokens where we want them to be?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Actually, I was supposed to put them down here. Let me see if I can. Yeah, here we go.
We're all hanging
So
on the wall.
Now, the bear statue was actually quite a ways back. This is 300 feet beyond that, where you were examining the bear statue. So the bear statue is like way down here. Something like that. The map doesn't quite reach that far, but this is what you see in the middle.
Hector looks around to see if there's potentially a second statue nearby, like a creating an entry.
Check. Yeah, roll a perception check.
Okay. So here, that one is 1, 2, 3, 4.
Actually, let me try something.
Oof, no.
You don't see
Total
any.
of 7.
Yeah, you don't see.
What were you looking for? I'm sorry.
You know, like when you approach a gateway and it's got a statue on one side and a statue on the other. I was trying to see if there was another statue there.
Well, I'll scan the area. I mean, like I said, I'm back 60 feet. I mean, what else? Do I notice anything unusual standing back and being able to look at the area in a little bit wider view? I mean,
so looking a bit wider, looking around, you could make a perception check to see.
Thank
You
you.
would have a bigger, wider range of view.
I
I want to ask if anyone is approaching the cave entrance.
7.
No, you don't see anything else. Just snow and black rock.
Like my
and
soul.
A big bear statue.
I think Faylene would never ever have been up this close to like a piece of art like this.
Mm-hmm.
And I think she would just sort of be like, her eyes would go big with wonder at sort of like the beauty and the detail of it. And if nobody would stop her, she would be like, it is so beautiful, and like reach out a hand to touch it.
None of the NPCs are stopping it. Luna's just looking at it wide-eyed, walking around it in circles. Lotto would say, "This is magnificent."
It is gorgeous. It looks so real.
If you touch it, it feels like stone, but very detailed. And you realize that even the hairs seem as if they are chiseled out
I've
of the
always
stone.
wanted a pet
Incredible
bear.
Hector also had read all the stuff on the journal, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Just wondering because I know what Valanthe probably seeing that statue, but and Valanthe.
Oh
would-
yeah, he's looking carefully and right now at the statue during his investigation and that to make sure that it is actually petrified.
It is complete stone, although your detect magic did flare up, of course, when you looked at it.
Yeah.
Valanthe, Valanthe is stealthing to the entrance, but as quietly as possible. Maybe trying to move not like her speed, but like half her speed to try to get there.
Is anyone else going to approach the cave entrance?
No, Faylene is working on her staff every second she can kind of get on the way. And so, and since Valente told her that she didn't want anybody coming, she's enraptured by this bear, so she'll actually sit like right underneath it and keep working on her staff.
Okay.
So I'll walk by.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
No,
I'll
go
walk
for it.
by Faylene and the statue, and as I pass, I'll say, "Keep your hands off the statue." I'll move up towards the mouth of the entrance on the opposite side of Valanthea.
Okay.
Hector, overhearing the quick warning from Omen, looks at Phelan and goes, "Yeah, that's good advice. This thing's
What?
magical and it looks like it's a shapeshifter of some description. I would not touch it."
I already touched it. It was fine.
Yeah. Oh well. Come on, let's go catch up with the others.
Now,
Let's go catch
who
up
would
with
be
the others.
So who all? I just want to know who all is going to be at the cave entrance, along with Valenthe. Omen is there.
Yes.
I mean, if Hector's asking her to go and Omen's moved up to the cave, Feline would follow but hang back. She's like
Don't worry,
mumbling
Hector's
about
very
how
slow.
grumpy they're being.
Yeah. Hector walks at like half pace.
Yeah.
So,
Luna and Lotto would also follow you guys, basically, where you went.
Valanthe, Valanthe's going to hold up in hand is like to slow them down because she kind of suspects stuff here. So she's like, because she's been trying to be stealthy, but with them being out in the open, or if like the NPCs move there out in the open, she's going to try to halt them and slow them down.
Do you want to look into the first section of the cave?
Yeah, Valanthe's going to just slowly look over the first section, but yeah, she's trying to halt everybody
I
else.
will as well.
All right, I'm going to put it on here. Give me one moment real quick.
Just out of game, William, I have a +9 on stealth.
Yeah, minus a +10.
Oh, well,
So,
fantastic. Then we're golden.
So when you look into the cave, how much dark vision do you have, Valenthe?
I think hers is 60. Let's see.
Yep, me too.
So here's the area. So you're looking down. So we're changing directions here a little bit. The cave goes north, but my direction is a little weird here. You're looking north when you're looking straight in, but this is what you see.
Huh. Okay.
It looks like a cave, pretty natural, but the floor and some of the walls look kind of almost like they have been hewn by human hands a little bit. Like human hands widened the mouth of the cave.
Okay, so that would When Valancy was up in that ridge, did she see anything toward the east? Still, any kind of signs of forests?
No, not yet. No.
Wow. Okay. Can she do one thing because she's like kind of hesitant about this cave, knowing what she read in a journal?
Now, I will say to the players, maybe don't look at this on YouTube, because on YouTube they can see what I see. So
Yeah.
if you don't want to spoil it, don't
We're
don't look on
good.
YouTube.
We're good.
Anyway, continue.
She wants to get up again. As far as Valanthi, because she's more interested in the forest and she's kind of suspicious of this cave. Would it be possible to go up one more time to try to do one thing really quick?
Yeah,
I don't know I don't know what the group is doing, but I know what she wants to do. I guess it's up to them of what they do, but
you would like go back to the previous scene, basically.
yeah, she's just gonna do a quick spell.
Gotcha. Okay.
To try to do the lay of the land.
Gotcha. Okay, here, let me.
Yeah, I was just flanking you on the other opposite end of the cave, so that's what.
She'll take a look at everybody that's kind of spread out all over the place, and she's like, she's gonna try to get back up to the high level, and she's gonna walk past everybody again and says, "I don't trust this cave. Give me a moment, unless you all want to go in. I will be doing something fast."
Luna's like, I'm fine to wait for you.
Hector will say, just let me get up a little closer first. So I just want to make sure there's no magic around it. Don't want to set off any magic traps or anything before we get in there.
Well, he does that. She's going to go back up and try to find a high elevation again. At least the highest point that she can get to.
Yeah, that would be about the place right there. That'd be about the highest point.
Okay, around any area right now, that would be the highest point?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Well, in that case, she's going to go ahead and cast a spell. She will breathe slow and steady, rise her fingers, and kind of like she's gliding in through the air in unseen patterns, and send a whisper to the wind, and you'll see like something glinting around her. It coils around her, kind of like a little ghostly thread, and it kind of rustles her hair, and she exhales, and you see this shimmer that is around her. It appears, and then it appears directly above her now, about 120 feet. So she's casting let me see. Oh, I forgot. I can't put it on the chat. I keep thinking I'm doing Roll20. Let's see here. So this is elevated. It's called elevated sight. So I can cast this sensory. It gives me sight, 100 or 360 degree view. It's 120 feet above me compared to the highest wherever I am standing. So it's 120 feet above me, and it gives me a 360 degree view from its location. And I can do it for up to a minute.
Does it help you? Is it basically just visual, or are you picking up anything specific?
It's just visual. I don't know if I can. Yeah, I think it's just visual. It's just giving me a high point view.
Drone view.
So
yeah, it's a drone view basically is what it's doing. So
no, you pick up on so you're looking around in it. I mean, it is just a wasteland, barren lands as far as you can see, with the exception of east. You can see a long distance because the weather is very clear. You see that by nightfall tonight, if you guys travel, at a decent pace, not even actually, you don't even have to travel at a fast pace. If you were to travel at a decent pace today, you see a long, like a long front of woodland, like a icy forest kind of begins. And it's a little hard to see, like it's a long way off, but you just see kind of like, as it like against the backdrop of the horizon, you kind of see mountains up to the north, and then the mountains gradually come down into some foothills, and then you see this front of basically forest land that seems to go on until you cannot see any further. So like,
Excellent. Yeah, because 120 feet, I think I forgot how many miles ahead you can see. But Pythagorean theorem there.
Well, that's a pretty high vantage point, so you can see quite a distance.
All right. So I would say, so you're saying about at least less than a day?
Yeah, less than a day from here is the forest line.
All right, I will go back.
You also see the most direct path actually is due east.
Excellent.
You can kind of see how the land is laid out.
Van Lanthy sort of suspects because of as soon as she saw the bear, she kind of was suspecting something. So she's going to go to the group and say,
I don't know who else read that journal, but I don't suspect that statue was created by mortal hands.
Lotto's going to say, the gods then.
she will go ahead and put her finger to her temples again.
No, not the gods. Some creature, a monstrosity, perhaps. A basilisk, at least from what I'm reading in the journal. And
You hear Luna like her breath catches, and she kind of takes a step backward. On her eyes is a look of very distinct fear, and she hears that.
And she'll say, I can see the forest. We can arrive there within under a day if we keep heading east. Or you can decide to scout out this cave. I did hear a whisper, Elvish, telling me that it was helpful, but yet I suspect there was something still suspicious about it.
At the very least, it could be a good shelter in the event of a very, very big storm.
Or it can turn us all to statues.
I think it'd be worse than that. I think it's
So I'm gonna do an investigation check on the cave mouth, looking for droppings.
Yeah, go for it.
Or signs of animals. Come on now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here we go. Come on. Oh, God. It was going to be at 18. Now it's at 6. Yes.
You look around, you don't see anything, really. It looks like a pretty clean cave entrance to you.
Okay.
and Hector, did you find any kind of magical traps?
Did I?
Oh, no, Hector, when you look into the cave, nothing glows magical.
Yep. No magic here. So this is all natural. But it feels wrong. I completely agree with Valenti. Let's get out of here.
Yeah, so you said something about a basilisk. Is that what you said?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, well, then let's bounce, dude.
Luna nods enthusiastically. Yes, please, let's get out of here.
Let's make for the trees.
Did we just bypass the dungeon master's 3 days worth of dungeon work?
No. It was just a cave in your path. Just a cave in your path.
Sure.
All right. So are you just going to circle up and basically take the path, Valenti, that you saw with your overhead sight?
Yeah. And I don't know if I would. I was also trying to make sure that I didn't see any kind of other movements, like big movements, giants.
No, you actually saw nothing other than the layout of the land. No creatures, like no giant creatures or anything like that.
Okay. So then if everybody else is going to do that, then she's just going to move forward then straight toward the trees because she thinks that's the best bet. And that's where she grew up, is in trees, even though there might be frozen trees.
Very good. Very good. All right. With that being said, would it be safe to say you guys would be interested in going into kind of like speed travel mode to
Almost
kind
Yeah,
of
definitely.
forest. Yeah.
yeah?
I
Okay.
mean, I have no problem with that. Sorry.
No,
Yeah,
no,
that's
you're fine.
fine.
Make a quick check here. Do you want to basically kind of try to speed travel basically to the forest line?
Yeah.
I'm fine with that. That's what Valancy's going to be trying to do anyway. So
Okay, very good, very good.
And as we're going there, I would speak more with Lotto and ask him to tell me more about his experiences in Greyhawk. But you don't have to like role play it or anything. Just to let you know, I want to get more information about his world state.
Oh no, that's fine. If you want to talk, oh, to Lotto, you mean?
Yeah, but we don't have to role play it. I mean, you could give me the information in a text or something if you like.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's up to
Give
you.
me
I don't
one
want to
moment.
take up a bunch of space talking.
No, if you guys want to role play amongst yourselves for just a quick minute, I'm bringing something up here real quick. It'll take
Okay.
me a quick minute
Yeah,
to switch
I'll just-
scenes.
I was just going to ask quickly what condition Lotto is actually in at the moment.
He looks kind of tired, but otherwise he looks pretty good.
Okay.
He does look a little fatigued.
and of course,
Colleen walks in the back. She always walks in the back of the group.
Valancy, of course, she'll jog up ahead to keep ahead of the group as usual. Her usual self.
Gotcha.
Trying to scout and make sure.
All right.
no weirdness
So, as you guys are traveling, you actually don't actually encounter any creatures. There's really no activity that you see. At one point, you pass some rabbits, like some little snow rabbits. I don't know if anyone wants to interact with them.
Oh,
They kinda
I'll
seem
sling one, right? I'll sling one.
like- roll me a survival check to hunt the rabbits.
Before you would have slinged on it, would I be able? Well, that's going to be interesting interaction there. I'll wait. I'll wait to find another animal.
But yeah, go ahead and make. What did you make?
That was a 9 survival check.
Oh, a 9 survival. Unfortunately, your attempts to hunt the rabbits result in the rabbits running away.
Can I
much
like
So much for red meat.
make a note of how many like might be like by looking up the tracks and the way the rabbits are moving? Just get a sense of like, are they something we can expect to see regularly, or if this is like just
They
happens to
seem-
be a really good like opportunity.
They seem to be relatively at home. They look like they're natural for this area, is what they actually look like. They just kind of run off amongst the rocks.
Can
Actually,
Hector see any of them?
you all saw them. If anyone else wants to roll a survival check to hunt the rabbits, you can do that if you want. But that's about the only animal.
No,
you see
Hector
during the
was going to
first-
cast a spell on it.
Oh yeah. Okay. What spell were you gonna cast?
Sapping Sting.
Oh, so basically try to blast them with a spell.
Well, it's saps the vitality of one creature you can see within range. The target must succeed on a con save or take 1d4 necrotic damage.
Are you
and
trying to
fall
do this?
prone.
Are you trying
And
to do this
fall
by yourself?
prone.
Gotcha. Okay. Are you trying to do this by yourself, or were you basically helping Omen?
Well, seeing him miss that first shot, he would help.
Oh, okay. Then you should go ahead and roll a survival check as well, but you should do it with advantage because you and Omen at this point are kind of working together, and you're using magic to aid in your.
Survival. Okay, what have I got in that?
For the moment, I'm gonna bring up this scene because this is a pretty good depiction of where you guys, the kind of landscape you guys are.
that one. And 1, 2, 3, 4. There you go. 22 with
Oh, yeah.
advantage.
You guys are able to hunt yourself a rabbit. You get one. Let's see how big it is. It is big enough to provide one ration.
And some mittens. Or a lucky rabbit's foot.
Definitely
Keep
two.
that fur. Keep that fur. You might keep your hands warm.
For sure. Anyway, continuing on, let's see if you see anything else to hunt on the way. You should all roll a survival check as you travel, actually.
I just did that, didn't I?
Oh, for goodness sake. I'm changing dice colors. We're going to go with this one instead.
22 for Hector.
A 22? Okay.
I got a 16.
So you guys come across another creature, actually. You come across a deer while you're traveling.
What?
Yes.
Mm.
It's like a very shaggy looking kind of mule deer looking kind of creature. It is a little different than the deer you guys have seen. It looks the most like a mule deer, but it certainly is a deer with antlers. And if you guys want to, you could attempt to hunt it as well.
Come on,
Bailey
Valencia.
wants
Come on,
to
Valencia. Shoot that bow.
see like where its herd is. Are there tracks nearby?
So if you do make a actually that should be either a nature check or a survival check. Actually, no, that's a survival check.
Is it within 60 feet of Hector?
My goodness, that's a nat 1.
That's a nat 1.
Yeah.
So you're looking for tracks, and you actually trip on a rock and you hit your head. You take 3 points of damage when your head slams into a rock. Little blood is trickling out. It's very dangerous out here. Very dangerous.
Hector balances himself carefully and offers a hand to Phelan to stand up.
She's like, no, I got it. I'm supposed to be better than this, and stands up on her own.
And then, is it Hector able to see that deer?
Yes.
Is it, like
yes.
within 60 feet?
At this point, the deer's looking a little suspicious and like it might bolt, but it is within 60 feet of you.
Yep. I will try and hit it with a sapping sting again. So it's a con save 15.
It will hit it, and the deer will attempt to run, and then it will fall to the ground, helpless, allowing you guys to if someone is going to deal a killing blow.
There you go, Lotto. Fresh
Wait.
venison, mate.
Lotto would start running up to it, a fast but short sprint. And he would get
Phelan
to it.
would run up to it too if she can and ask him to stop.
Oh, he would stop, and he would almost look relieved, like he didn't want to deliver the killing
Yeah,
blow.
like no, like this
He
is like
barehanded.
really important to her, and so seeing that the deer is on its last legs and dying, she would get as close as she could without like taking damage from any hooves that might be sprawling about, and
Yeah.
and like mutter a prayer under her breath, and then take the dagger and try to give it a really good killing blow in the neck, as merciful and as quickly as possible.
Yeah. Just roll an attack check to make sure you don't roll a nat 1. That's the only thing that would stop you from succeeding, is if you rolled a nat 1.
That's a
But-
15, so we're good.
Oh yeah, you
Yeah.
got it. Now the size of this deer is a 1d12 worth of rations. Once you process it, it'll take a little while to process this bad boy. Oh, this is kind of a smaller mule deer, 4 rations worth of deer, so he's a little smaller.
Yeah, Phelan is like saying a prayer in Elvish over it and like shuts its eyes. And then we'll just straight up start getting to work on it.
As she starts to get to work on it, basically Lotto would offer, once you've field dressed it, I'll carry it to camp tonight. We could work on it there. In this cold weather, it's not like the meat's going to spoil.
She'll nod her head and says, yes, but make sure you thank it first.
Oh, he's going to kind of put his hands together and give a little bow. And he's like, thank you, kind animal. May your flesh be nourishing to us. And he'll kind of wrap its legs, kind of pull its legs together and throw it over his shoulder, kind of like rear legs in one hand, front legs in the other, and he just carries it on his shoulder. Little blood starts to run down, but it pretty quickly freezes.
Billion will give her a nod of approval and then fall back behind everybody again.
So if you guys continue to travel at this pace, let's see if you see anything else. Nothing else pops up right immediately, and you eventually come to the edge of the forest, just like Valenti saw. I gotta grab the map here. Hope I gotta grab your characters too. Hope we gotta go back. Sorry, guys. We're getting the hang of it, but it's taking a minute.
It's all good.
All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is that it? Wait a minute. Valenti's not in there. There she is. All right. Now we go to scenes. Gotcha. Okay. Whoop. No, that's wrong. Okay. Here we go. Now maps. So it's not quite dark when you reach the forest line. It's actually you got about an hour of daylight left. I'm gonna unfog this. Yeah. When you reach the forest, and the forest is basically scattering of pine-like trees, kind of dead branches growing from amongst black rock. It's actually really really interesting. There's not much soil, it seems, and these trees are just kind of growing up out of the snow, out of the hard, maybe the soil beneath the rock. You're not really quite sure, but for the first time, you see green things, green trees, wood, plenty of wood.
Oh, hey.
Valanthi will kind of breathe out a sigh of relief. Her stress and tension kind of, her shoulders are drooping a little bit more now, not just so stressed. At least kind of being around some familiar area.
Yes.
I immediately start beginning to look for some sort of appropriate branches to make a short bow.
Oh yeah, you should roll a. I think that the best.
Oh, sure,
check
make me
for
roll.
that- What's that?
Let's just sure make me roll because I'm doing that so well. What? What am I rolling?
You
again?
should
I'm
just
sorry?
roll a perception check to just kind of or nature, whichever is better. Actually, or survival, whichever the three of those is better.
Oh, great. Yeah, they're all the same. Here we go. Hey, it was 16. How about that? Come on.
You actually do find a pretty nice bow.
tree
Not a
that-
bow,
a
but like
Right.
something you could use as a bow.
And then can I make a string out of the something of the deer? For the
Yes,
bowstring? Would that
absolutely.
be appropriate?
Yes. Are you guys going to pitch? This would be a pretty, like the reason I bring this area up is because this area seems to be a place kind of inside the tree line where you could maybe make a camp.
Yeah,
you
that's
like
what
to go ahead
Valanthi
and-
was going to
Yeah.
do right away. She was going to go into this little area here and start working on her arrows again, whatever stones or stuff that can be around, doing the same thing basically, but now just working on arrows. And then she's going to just now that we're at the trees, she's kind of more relaxed now, depending whatever the group does. She knows at least this is her kind of, not exactly her environment, but she's not so stressed out as having to worry about people. So now she's going to camp out and try to make a little roost here and start working on her stuff before she goes into a trance and tries to rest again.
Gotcha. Okay. So if we're gonna put a fire, like you'd notice that
Someplace safe.
Have you gone
Yeah.
up? Have you?
Oh,
Have you
how
climbed
can
up,
Cool.
Valenthi?
Yeah, she would have gone up here to this area away from everybody and kind of hid into this little tree nestled here stuff. That way she can still look around, but she's gonna try to stealth in there and do her work.
Luna and Lotto kind of start to work on building a bit of a fire together, but
Can we put that fire near like a rock formation
Oh,
or
yeah.
something? So it's like
Hmm.
not in the middle of a path, this apparent pathway.
yes, for sure. I'm trying to grab
You're like towards
It's hard to
towards
grab.
Valentia, or here, I'll move my character, like maybe around in here or something, you know?
Oh
That's
yeah,
where
yeah.
I was thinking.
There you go.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
I think Feline would let them, choose
Yeah,
whatever
you'd
spot
know what's up. Come on, man.
for the fire they wanted, but she would actually grab Lotto and anybody else who seemed interested in the fire and be like, I want to field dress the deer or process the deer, but she actually would want to give whoever makes the fire instructions to make a sort of like pit fire with a
Yes.
spout so that there doesn't create smoke.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
And
You should
Hector
roll
said-
a. Are you
looks
using
at the
magic
group
to
and-
do that?
No, she would be using like her she would want other people to do it while she does the deer, but she would be doing it by digging because it doesn't have to be deep, it only has to be about 6 inches.
Gotcha.
Who is skinning the deer?
Feline wants to skin the deer, but she also
Okay.
wants to be
Okay.
bossy and tell people what to do about the fire.
Well, Lotto and Luna would get together on the fire, and they take your lead because they do not seem to be expert fire makers. In fact, I kind of need to roll on their survival checks here. Oh, they get a fire going.
Nope.
They start rubbing some sticks together, and they make it happen.
Good job, guys.
But so I'll put guidance on Faylene for the skinning.
Oh, okay. Very good. Very good.
Well, and then obviously I told Faylene and I would like a strip of that hide to craft this bow.
Yeah, she'd give you the back
that's
strap
okay, if that's-
sinew to make a bowstring out of.
Cool. And I would take that and thank her, and just continue working as quickly as I can on just making sure the bow is solid, and then we'll worry about arrows after that, I guess.
You should roll a crafting check on your bow.
Sure. And do I do that under intelligence or?
It would actually be on the tools. Let me double check that real quick. What tools?
Hector pulls out the carpenter's tools and sort of says, "Can anyone use these? I just grabbed them to help fit my leg in place. If anyone can use them, they're welcome to them."
I'm not proficient in them, but I'm still going to try to make this bow somehow.
It's okay. You can roll on it. You can use the carpenter's tools and just don't add your proficiency bonus. But the I believe it's dexterity that you used. Let me double check.
Oh, a dexterity check?
Yeah.
So I get to add my dexterity bonus?
Yes. Yes.
Oh, well, that makes things much better because that's a +5. Shabam! How about a 24?
24. Oh yeah. Heck yeah. Okay. So if you spend,
And I'm gonna actually thank Hector for handing me the tools and not act so disgusted to him since he killed that rabbit after I flushed it out of the scrub by missing. And I'll say, I'll just say very briefly, thank you.
You're welcome.
Now, if you get someone to help you, Omen, it'll take a lot less time. But you should
I
be
don't know
able
who
to.
I would ask. Yeah, I'm just gonna work on it, and because I'm not
Are
really
you-
sure if anybody could help me, because I just don't know their skill, except for Faylene, and she's already working on something else. So I'll just continue to work on the bow as best I can.
Okay. Let me double check here how long it actually takes.
And then I was gonna keep working on the trying to get more arrows done, which
If you, oh yeah, more arrows.
yeah.
You should roll a crafting check for your arrows.
Mhm.
At this rate, Mr. Vincent, it would take Omen 4 hours to have a functional primitive bow that can be used, but there is a small chance of it breaking if you every time you use it. So in 4 hours, you can have a bow with like a D10 chance of breaking. Every time you use it, roll a D10. If you roll a 1, it breaks basically.
Okay.
And then as you work on it more after that, it gets like stronger.
Sure. Well, we'll just get it to its rudimentary state, and in that 4 hour period of time, and that's what I'll do, and I'll vacate the floor to
Now,
whoever.
as you guys are building a fire, processing the deer, working on bow, Valenthi's making arrows. Valenthi, what was your check?
It was 16.
Okay.
Currently
So,
using the
go ahead.
tinker's tool, but she'll eventually try to trade the tinkers for the carpenter tools
Oh,
whenever.
for sure, for sure.
Because
Whenever
that's what
I'm
she's
done with them, I
proficient
can.
with.
So
But,
1 hour, 1 hour goes by and it starts to get dark. Valenthi, you've crafted 2 arrows in that time.
2 arrows. Okay. Slowly getting up there.
Now, 1 hour later, where would everyone be situated? Go ahead and show me. Are you still where you are on the map, or would you have like moved, or like what would be your?
Well,
your
Valenthi, after doing like the arrows, will cast the. We'll probably go into a trance and rest, but before that, she'll go ahead and do a good berry spell, so she can not die, and
Okay.
cast 10 of those good berries and throw them in a sack or something, and then she'll go into a trance where she's at right there.
Everyone should roll me a perception check real quick.
Oh, perception. Let me see.
15.
That's a
14.
dirty 20.
Oh, I got a 14.
So all of you have made it at this point.
Yeah, I got a 19.
A 19. Okay. So all of you suddenly, like, about an hour into your campsite, and then as darkness is beginning to descend, you guys hear 2 things. One, you hear some kind of like thumping sounds coming from the north, and then you hear a voice. And the voice, at first it starts kind of low, and then you hear branches breaking, and you hear the thumping getting closer, and then you hear, and then you hear another voice go, and you just hear this thumping, and it's getting closer.
What direction?
What would the voices you hear are speaking in giant? If I remember, Valenthi, don't you speak giant? Understand giant?
Yes.
No, what direction? I'm sorry.
Oh, from the north.
Okay,
And
thank you.
Valenthi, you heard the one voice say, "It's down here. I smell the meat." And then another voice says, "I smell many meats." And then suddenly you see something thump into view. You see a giant figure with 2 heads walking down the path. You can all roll a nature check to see if you know what this is. And you see that both of the heads are sniffing. It is not stealthy.
That's a 16 for me.
It's at 12.
So this is actually not super difficult to identify. You recognize this is an Etin, a two-headed giant.
Oh, the land of giants.
And so it kind of continues to creep down, and it's smelling. Now, at this point, unless you guys want to try to like I don't know, what do you guys want to do? You're not in an initiative yet.
You think? I'm
and
in
this
initiative
thing-
right now.
This thing doesn't seem to have actually spotted any of you yet. It's kind of like walking carefully through the snow, sniffing the air. So at this point, what would everyone like to do?
On that 16, would I like know anything about its strengths or weaknesses?
So you do know that they tend to be solitary. They usually do
Okay.
not pair up. You also know that both heads have their own personality, and so they kind of work together, but also argue with each other.
Okay.
You know that they're generally outcasts, like other giant types find them offensive and revolting. So they're kind of like the rejects of the giant world in most
They have double.
lands.
They always speak with. They always double speak.
They do. They're always arguing with each other and just being a real nuisance. But this one is relatively big, bigger than average.
So I moved from my position up to where I'm currently standing, and in this
If you're
tree
going to
line.
move, are you trying to be stealthy?
Yeah, absolutely.
You should roll a stealth check.
I shall do so.
Did Hector
know what,
get a
in
long
fact-
rest in?
No, not yet. It's only been an hour. Oh, you got a long rest in last night. Yeah. So you are all long rested, except for the spells you
23.
used to hunt. Oh yeah, you're
Yep. Yep.
you are very easily stealthing around. I'm gonna add you guys to the initiative. You should go ahead and roll initiative just to determine turn order at this point.
As far
then
as
you should-
I know I was going to cast Goodberry and then take a trance rest. Does that happen? That's what happened. It's like I was going to do that, or did that happen, or what was the timing of that?
Oh, so basically, this is happening an hour after you've made camp. So there wouldn't have been time for the long rest, but you would have had the good berry by now. You would have.
Oh, I was just wondering because I was making the arrows because it does take me a spell slot. That's why I was asking if I would have had that happen before or after the good berries.
Oh no. Okay, so the arrows you have completed.
Okay.
And
then-
if there was a spell involved in the use in doing that, then you would have spent it.
Okay.
How do I add myself to the initiative tracker again? I have to do something. I have to click on something. Yes.
Oh yeah. Well, here I'll add you. I think
Thanks.
Here we go. You should be in
Thank
there
you.
now.
Thank you. Gotcha. Shabam.
Shabaya.
There you go.
So this
There's
thing's-
my 23.
Whispering to itself about the meat it smells, and it's looking for it basically. Now, Feline, you look down, and I mean there was deer blood all over in that area,
Mhm.
where you're processing the deer. But so you think to yourself, man, that is that's a pretty telling.
If I have the opportunity, then, knowing the deer is going to be a tasty treat for any predators nearby, she would subtle spell Druidcraft
Okay.
and make like a skunk smell over the deer.
Oh, okay.
So that would be like, this like kind of area where she's been processing the deer.
Valenthy and Hector, have you rolled your initiatives?
Yeah, I
no,
had
not
a
yet.
17. I was trying
17.
to one.
Kinda like
Oh, there we are.
between.
Okay.
How about you, Hector? Did you roll your initiative?
No. There it is. 10.
10? All right. So, Faylene, you cast... we're going to go ahead and go into turn order. So, Faylene, you cast Subtle Spell Druidcraft. Did you
Mhm.
want to do anything else on your turn?
No, she's just trying to disguise the scent, and that's it. And then she doesn't have enough to take a, because I'm pretty sure that's an action.
All right.
Yeah, so that would take her action.
So let's go to Valenthi then, because we kind of skipped Valenthi. Valenthi, what would you like to do?
Did you already got Omen?
Omen did. He stealthed
Okay.
up to here. Actually, though, Omen, did you want to take an action?
Well, my action was because I was kind of back farther was to just move where I'm at now.
Oh,
I'm
gotcha.
working my way behind the creature as best of my stealthy abilities.
Very good. Very good.
You want me to roll another stealth check?
No, you're fine. Your stealth check was really good.
We're
Okay,
cool.
so
Go ahead.
yeah, go ahead, Valenthi.
Is the fire on?
The fire is going unless anyone puts it out.
Yes.
Yeah, but if they follow the instructions, it shouldn't be smoking, right?
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
So it is a smokeless fire.
Oh, okay, so it's in the ground then.
Yeah, it's in the ground.
Okay. All right. Well, then she is going to remain where she's at right now because she was supposed to be stealthing, so she's going to remain as still as possible and hold her actions. If it does anything,
Go ahead and roll a stealth check with advantage since you're not moving, just to make sure you're hiding good to avoid his two gazes as he's looking around. He's not looking around real sharp. Oh yeah, you're hidden. Very good.
Yeah, so she's going to hold her action and with her two new arrows at the ready just in case anything happens.
All right, now we're going to go to Hector.
Yeah.
Oh.
So Hector will subtly make his way along the edge of that cliff there until he can just see the giants, and then he'll try and inform them that they are wrong. The deer went back to their camp.
Are you talking to both heads or just one of the heads?
Whichever one responds, it's telepathy. So he's just looking at both of them.
Okay, so both of them would hear this?
Yep.
Okay. So one of them, and I'm going to just say it I'm just going to say it because Valenthi, you can understand it, but the one of them says, they stop, and then he kind of says, I have an idea. I think the deer's at our camp. And then the other one kind of looks over at him and he's like, why are you reading my thoughts? That's what I thought. And then the one kind of says, that doesn't make any sense. You can't read my thoughts and I never know what you're thinking. And then they kind of look at each other. One of them's the head on the right starts to growl at the other one. And then the one is like, there's some funny business going on around here. And they just kind of like stand there looking at each other a little perplexed. Hector, would you like to do anything else?
I'm tempted, but I'm not quite sure yet. But he will say, you're both right. You can't read your thoughts.
You should roll a persuasion, or I think a persuasion check would actually be a good check to make. So then the one is like, are you reading my thoughts again? And then the other one is like, I don't know what you're talking about. I just had the thought that you shouldn't be able to read my thoughts.
It's a total of 5 for persuasion.
Okay.
Hard with a -2.
So the one is going to say, wait a minute. She does this sometimes. She talks to us like this, doesn't she? And the other one is like, she's not here. She's further west. Scorpions and such, you know. And then the other head is going to say, yeah, but maybe she's talking to us right now. Maybe she's telling us it's a camp because she wants us to go to camp. And then the other one would say, why would she want that? And then the one on the left is going to say, maybe she's at our camp and she wants us to go there. And then the one on the right is like, then we should not go back to camp. And then the one on the left is like, I smell a skunk. Ugh. Let's. Ugh. They kind of trudge forward.
Hector looks to Lotto and grabs. Are there any of the scorpion bits? Like
There are a few more little scorpion bits.
Yep. Any of the hard bits, he'd get 2 of them and start clacking them together to make like scorpion noises.
So suddenly the Etten stops, and then he's like, "What is that noise?" And then the right head would say, "It sounds like a tapping, like I don't know, like 2 sticks clamping together." Lotto's trying to hide on his turn. Okay, Lotto tries to hide. He's not very stealthy. You kind of hear him crunch into the brush.
No.
Let's see if actually the Etten doesn't seem to notice. And then Luna tries to back away, kind of behind you, Faylene. She slips on some rocks. It's quite loud, actually. She rolled a 9. The Etten doesn't notice.
Whoa, he's too busy listening to his own
He
thoughts.
is listening to the clacking. And he's like, we should follow the sound. They kind of walk down here. That's going to be its turn.
Hector's shadows start flowing around him, and he just seems to disappear.
Oh, Hector does?
Yeah, he's just
Is this
standing
like
there, but this is an umbral human feat.
What is it? What is the effect?
It basically becomes invisible.
Is it like a very good like stealth check, or is it like magical?
No, it's magical. The shadows
gotcha,
just come up and around him and cover him up.
He comes down and looks right at you, but with your umbral cloaking. Oh. He actually says, "What is this?" And then he kind of comes closer and he looks right down at the ground where the deer was, like, and sees the blood. The both heads reach down and sniff the ground, and one says, "That smells like an animal. Some kind of animal died here." And then the other one's like, "Are those drag tracks? Footfall steps." Anyway, he's just looking around. Now it is back to top of initiative. It is Omen's turn.
Oh boy. All right. Let's see. He is. Oh, damn. He's far away from me now. Dang it. Damn it. All right. Well, I'm gonna still move stealthy then. 40 feet.
Go ahead and make a stealth check.
Got it. Hang on. Anybody else?
Hector, you and Omen. Oh, you can't do anything else after that?
Well, I mean, no, I'm not going to do anything else. I'm trying to set up a sneak attack here.
Gotcha. What was your stealth check?
Here comes.
Oh, gotcha.
19.
Okay, yeah, he doesn't hear you. If that is it for Omen, we go to Valenthy.
Yep.
Yeah, Valencia's still just holding her action.
Are you just going to skip? No, keep holding your action for now.
Yeah. And
right.
if it attacks or anything, she'll unleash hell.
Then we'll go to Faylene next.
Okay. Faylene is going to because it's only like Luna and Hector around her, she will not try to mask that she's spellcasting, except in that she's whispering to not draw attention to herself. And cast Druidcraft again, repeating the noise that Hector was making, but putting it back over here.
Okay. So the clacking continues, and then suddenly the Etten turns around. He's like, "What is that? I heard it again." And then the other one is like, "Something's following us." And then the other one is like, "You're really stupid, but that might be true. It sounds like there's something behind us." And then the other one is like, "She's fooling with us. We got to get out of here." They're just like arguing with each other. Would you like to do anything else, Failing?
No.
All right, it'll be Hector's turn then. Hector, they're pretty much right in front of you, and you can smell just the stink coming from the rag covering their loins.
Yeah.
They're basically just wearing a big loincloth, and it just reeks of like dead animal and body odor.
Now, if Hector moves or takes an action or anything, he becomes visible again.
Gotcha.
So he's just going to use. Would he be able to use his telepathy?
Yeah, for sure. Also, Omen, Faline, and Hector, they're close enough that you should all make a perception check too to see if you notice something.
And Hector will say, this meat is off. Let's go.
Nice.
And
This meat is off? Is that what you said?
yeah, the deer meat in front of them.
Oh, gotcha.
They already smell like skunk, so it's an easy sell, I think.
Gotcha. You should roll a persuasion check. And then what did you get for your perception, guys?
I got a 6.
A
I
6?
got a 23.
So, Omen, you don't see anything, but Faline, you see that in the back of his like belt he's wearing, there's like a big like kind of bag that's made out of like what looks like a hog skin, just like a dead hog like corpse, and it's like a bag, but you see two boots sticking out of it, and then you see what looks like a skeletal head with a helmet on it sticking up out of it, almost like it's a body folded in half, and you see the blade of a sword sticking up out of it.
Ooh.
And then it's like, what do you mean it's off? Get out of my head. It's not me, you dummy. They just kind of start to argue, and they kind of start to walk this way very carefully, like they're stalking. He actually pulls out his he's got a big like a club, and he kind of starts to stalk this way. Was that all you were going to do on your turn, Hector?
Yeah, I was trying to get him away.
Okay, gotcha.
If there was enough, I would telepathically talk to Omen and say, "Where do you want him?" But I don't know how Omen's going to react to a brand new voice in his head.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I'm gonna immediately try to resist that.
That's going to bring us to Omen's turn.
Yeah. No, it has a roll against it.
Not
it
that I
has a
don't want to
save.
receive the information, but that's what he would do.
Omen doesn't like voices in his head.
Doesn't.
No, I got enough of them already in there.
No, just lets it straight in, apparently.
Okay, then I'll.
The Etten is kind of looking around for the source of the sound. He's like got his club out, and he's actually got a club in both hands, and he's just kind of like looking around, stalking, like kind of looking under the trees and stuff. But it's Omen's turn. Omen, at this point, this guy's close enough that Omen sees the pouch on his back that looks like it has a folded up armored humanoid in it with a sword sticking out. At this point, just bones. Yeah, his back is to me.
Oh, damn.
He's like, "It's around here somewhere. The click clacking. We're gonna click clack it."
I'm done with this conversation. I'm gonna dive. I'm gonna come out of the as quietly as possible and continue to sneak up, and then I'm gonna launch an attack on his backside
Roll to hit.
with my. I'll keep the chef's knife in my. No, we're gonna attack him with one of the spikes in my hand. I'm gonna run up and leap off of this and try to like impale him with the spike as I'm leaping off the. Yeah.
Roll
Let's
to
see.
hit.
Yes. I'm trying. With a man, maybe I should not do a weapon, but whatever. Come on. Well, that's a 19.
That will hit.
All right. So that's a sneak attack, yeah?
Yes.
How much damage does the
weapon.
spike do?
You should
The
roll
spike
it as a. You should roll it as a D4.
Thank you. And then plus.
D4 piercing.
Gotcha.
You guys see
2.
Omen leap from the rocks.
Plus the sneak attack, that would be a total of. One creature you have an attack if you have it then. Yeah, that's a total of 4 points.
4. Slam into it. Suddenly there's a roar, 2 roars as they realize they're being attacked and start to whirl around, blood running down the back of the Etten. Do you have any more actions?
Yeah, I have a
Omen,
bonus action. I can bonus action. Hang on a second. Dang it.
No problem.
I can take the dash action as a bonus action.
Okay.
Without
Very good,
expending any key points or force points, whatever they're calling it nowadays.
Do you get to avoid an attack of opportunity if you dash away?
Well, he is behind me. I mean, I am behind him, but
Yes.
it just says step of the wind. You can take the dash action as a bonus action. Or I could
Gotcha.
expend 1 force point to take both the disengage and dash action as a bonus action. We'll do that.
Okay. So as you dash away, he would whirl around, and you would hear the wind of the club just fly by your ear. But unfortunately, you were too quick. He could not get a hit in as you left his zone.
Okay, and so then as my disengage and dash action, I'll move this way 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So I move sort of circular around this side.
Very good.
That would be it.
Now we go to Valenti.
Before it goes to my turn, I was trying to hold my action. Does that work with the mechanics?
Yes.
Before I take my actual turn?
Yes, go for it. Yeah. You should go ahead and take your held action on Omen's turn.
So then I'm going to go ahead and see how these 2 new arrows work. An attack. I don't know, because I was stealth and I'm hiding. Would that be an advantage or no?
You should roll with advantage because you actually, not only are you kind of elevated, but also you're kind of attacking from hiding.
Right.
But you definitely get advantage because you're elevated.
Awesome. All right. Did that do it right? Yeah, okay, it did. So that'll be a 24.
That will hit.
All right.
The arrow stabs in. He's like, "Grr. They're shooting us now."
I can't do my
Kill
bonus action yet. So I'm going to go ahead and use 1 dreadful strike. So that's going to be...
It's like, if you weren't such a moron, we wouldn't be here.
Let's see. 8. That's a 3. And
He's like swinging his club in the air as if trying to bat the arrows out of the air.
so that's 18 points of damage.
18.
And then I guess it would go to my turn next after that.
Yes. Now it is your turn.
Then in that case, I'm going to go ahead and bonus action do a hunter's mark on it.
Hunter's mark.
And I will attempt to do another attack here. So that would be... did you say I was getting that because I was hiding or because I had elevation on it? As far as
Because of elevation.
Okay, so advantage on that.
Actually,
Okay.
that being said, Omen actually should have gotten advantage too, but that's good. He's still hit.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good.
I didn't think about that you were leaping from a higher elevation. You should have gotten advantage.
Wow,
It's all good.
that's a bad hit. 14.
That will hit.
Wow, okay.
You realize the flesh of this dude is not that thick. Your arrows strike true. Much easier than trying to shoot that frost giant you were shooting the other day.
So since I get to this turn now, I'm going to go ahead and use another Dreadful Strike plus my Hunter's Mark and then the arrow damage. So,
And then Faylene, just to let you know, you're teed up next.
Mhm.
D8.
You guys hear the Yetton just arguing with itself incomprehensibly, trying to knock arrows out of the air while calling itself an idiot. The heads just like yelling at each other.
Oh,
So that's another 15.
15. All right.
And then I'm going to go ahead and do, because of my God's Blessing, another attack.
Oh wow.
You guys see Valenti just pumping it. The arrows are flying from the trees above the giant.
Again, wow. Okay. Well, either way, I guess that would hit.
14 does hit, yes.
And just use my Hunter's Mark this time. I can't use my Dreadful Strike, so... Another 15.
Another 15 damage.
So 15, 15, and... Wait, what was my first? I forgot what the first one was. I know it's over 45 or something damage.
Yeah, no, for sure. You dealt definitely.
wow.
It was a total of 48 damage.
Whoa.
So yeah, just sticking him. Your arrows fly in. He's still up, but he's bleeding all over himself, shouting, screaming. The two heads are even kind of snapping at each other with their teeth. Is that the end of your turn, Valenti? Or you? Oh yeah, you got movement.
I'm going to move to about right here to make sure I can cover anybody else that might get in danger. So that's what I'll do.
He's kind of roaring. It's now Phalene's turn.
Okay, Faylene will take her movement, and she gets weirdly ferocious about this and like screams like, "Don't touch my deer!" And will throw an ice knife at him, and that's a 19 to hit.
That will hit. You run up to him, his huge figure hulking in front of you. Both heads like look down at you, and then ice knife hits it in the chest. The one head roars, the other head like winces, like ugh.
And he only takes 2 points of damage.
2 points of damage. Okay,
Yeah.
every little bit helps.
If
Do you have any other actions or movement?
No, that'll be it.
All right, now we go to Hector.
How bloody is he? Is he like really bloodied or just bloodied?
He's actually he's not technically bloodied yet. He has taken 54 points of damage from you guys altogether.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Ow, my eye.
All right. Well, Hector will say in telepathy to them, I told you the meat was bad. And then he'll move forward. Oh. Wrong screen.
When Hector moves forward and they see him, the
He
one head is going
becomes,
to roar. There's another one. Smash
and
him.
he'll cast guiding bolt on the.
I
at
would if
level
you
2.
weren't such an idiot. And then the guiding
So,
bolt.
So let's say mark that one. Go there, and we go. What is it? Plus 6. 6. Oof. Jeez. D&D beyond rolls.
Is it an
much better.
11? 11 to hit?
11 in total for the guiding bolt.
11 damage, you mean?
No, to hit.
Oh, that would actually miss. You shoot the guiding bolt, but it goes right between their heads. They both look at it.
I guess it's not your time.
What is he saying?
And
Smash him.
then I'll
Do you
just
have any
try-
other actions or movement, Hector, that you want to take?
I'll just step back into the shadows a
Oh,
little
okay.
bit of the cliff there.
Otto takes the dash action and runs up to the and then kind of gets into like a low stance, and then he just kind of pounds his chest and he's like, "Do your worst, monster. I shall reunite you with the rocks." But he doesn't have an action right now to take. And then you guys see there's a little whistling sound, and you see that Luna throws a rock at the creature. She misses. The rock kind of just bounces off his shoulder. And she moves a little. That's all she has. It is now going back to the top. It is Omen's turn. Oh no, I'm sorry, the Eten's turn. The Eten doesn't take it. The Eten looks down at Lotto, who now has his attention, and he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna smash this puny thing. I don't even know what it is." His first attack fumble. He swings. It is a bad miss. Lotto just easily ducks beneath it. The second swing barely misses Lotto. It slams into the earth beside him. Lotto is kind of able to step to the side. And now we go back up to Omen's turn.
Okay, so this is for all the people out there. When you're a player character, you should know what your character can do. Should study your character sheet closely and contemplate your actions. I'm in kind of a pickle here. I'm not really sure how Flurry of Blows works. So, but that's what I want to. I mean, his back is still to me, so I want to try. I'm trying to do some sort of Flurry of Blows, sneak attack, something. I'm just not really quite sure how the mechanics work in Flurry of Blows. So, do I make one attack, and then if I hit, I get to make multiple attacks after that? Is that how that works? Or
If you make an attack and you hit, you have to after using an attack action to make an attack with an unarmed strike or a melee weapon. If it hits, then you can use a bonus action to do
the other two strikes.
Correct.
Oh, there we go. See, that's what I thought, but I mean,
it just costs 1 key point to do it.
Yeah. I wanted to hear another Dungeon Master rule that. Thank you, William. So so I will move up behind him and make a attack with an unarmed strike. Obviously, yes. That's a +7. Let's see here. Come on now. Let's go. Bam! Oh God.
Uh-oh.
Well, that would be a 9.
You go up to swing and you punch him, but his body is a lot harder than you realize, and your fist just lands flat.
Okay, so then
one of the head turns and looks to you and says, "Another little one." They'll go over the fire just fine on a stick. And then the other one is like, no, quarter them first, you idiot. Anyway, do you have any more actions? Or
I do. As a bonus action, I will transform into my necrotic shroud,
Okay.
which makes creatures other than allies within 10 feet of you must succeed on a charisma saving throw difficulty check of 12 or better, or become frightened of me.
It was a. I'm sorry. What was the check?
You have to make a charisma check versus a difficulty check of a charisma saving throw difficulty check 12.
Gotcha. Okay.
So a black shroud of darkness envelops Omen, looking like a dark cloak.
I make an 11. Does that make it?
No, you needed a 12 or better.
No, he fails.
So now he is frightened of me until my end of my next turn.
Ugh. Ugh. You hear him start to freak out.
Anyway, that's all I can do. Now I'm finished.
All right. So he has disadvantage on ability checks and attack rolls while you're in this line of sight. He cannot willingly move closer to you. All right. It is now going to be Valenti's turn.
All right. Well, then I will
see him looking very afraid. He's freaking out.
Go for the eyes!
I will make a call shot to the eyes. No, just kidding. No.
Why not? I don't know. I just...
He has 4 eyes to shoot for.
Wasn't that like a negative 10?
I just thought it sounded good.
Let's see here. So that's what's fish. That's 7. First arrow. Let's see what happened. Oh, I thought that was going to be a 20. 17.
All right. The arrow sticks into his body. He's like, no, we have to get out of here. There's too many of them. They're little. They're like squirrels, like a pack of squirrels, just bigger and slower.
We're
And
rabid.
then the other head is like, but tastier. We can't leave.
I'm going to try to get a critical roll on the other one. So before I use
Just
my
have to
dreadful
pound
strike.
one and put it in our bag.
Oh, God. 6 points of
before we
damage.
leave. 6 damage.
Yeah. And then I'm going to go ahead and do the other attack. Let's see if I can get a crit. Come on. No crits. All right. Well, I'll go ahead and use my last dreadful strike. So that is yeah, that is okay. So 1, 2, 3. Just that one. That's 20 points of damage.
Oh, wow. So at this point, it is bloodied, and it doesn't get any abilities. But what does happen is you kind of see him start to slow down, and he starts to act a bit sluggishly. And so you guys do see some opportunities for more lethal strikes. And what I'm going to say is, if you want to try to strike like a vital area, if you're willing to attack with disadvantage, or with neutral roll, if you would get advantage, you could try to strike him in more vital areas to do more damage, because he's really getting beat up, and you guys are like surrounding him at this point. And we're going to go to Fayleen's turn.
So, I guess I'm confused. You said he's got no more actions?
Well, no, he's a bloodied. He's
okay.
taken. Yeah, he's like starting to get sluggish. Blood loss is slowing him down.
Gotcha.
Frightened, disadvantaged.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In that case,
He's getting swarmed basically, and so he's kind of getting. There's a lot of openings to hit him harder.
Faylene is going to, and she's taking this very like sort of crouch, hunched over, protective stance, and say, "I said, don't touch," and cast command for drop to get him to drop his club on his next turn. So the DC for that is a wisdom saving throw of 14.
Now, here's a good question. Which head are you targeting?
Ooh.
The right one, which is painted blue, or the left one, which is painted red?
Which head is closest to the club?
Both arms have a club in them. And it seems that the heads control their respect.
To the red one.
Okay. So let's make a check, I believe, right?
Yeah, so wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom saving throw.
Uh-huh.
Oh. He actually makes a 16.
Yeah, that'll
Does that
pass
save?
the check. Yeah, it saves.
Oh.
Bummer.
He's like,
we all
that
get
one's
wiser
whispering
at
to
the
me.
end here.
Do you have any more actions or movement you'd like to make?
No, she'll stay there.
All right. Now it is Hector's turn.
Finish him.
Hector sees the Eddie struggling a bit, and once again tries to get inside its heads, and I'll say, "I've tried to warn you. Maybe you should drop your clubs and leave now."
He might be right. Roll a persuasion check or intimidate, whichever you'd rather, whichever seems more accurate. They like look at each other.
Check. Oh yeah, definitely. Either one is -2, so.
Oh, okay. What did you?
Give it a
What
go.
did you? Oh, have you not rolled yet? Not yet.
Do I get advantage at least?
You do get advantage, actually.
Oh god.
Oh my! Did you roll with advantage? You should roll with
Not that one.
advantage. Oh.
I'll roll the second one now. It's not much better.
It's not good. He's just kind of
Sorry, I got
don't listen to it. Don't listen to the voice. There's some voices talking to us. I bet it's you. They're just arguing with each other, and then they're looking pretty. They're starting to kind of slur their words. Now it's Lotto's turn, and Lotto charges into him shoulder first, trying to basically get him in trying to basically steamroll him. Actually hits him. You see Lotto slam into him, and the Etten actually has to take a step back. And then Lotto tries to lift him up and slam him onto the ground. But he's got to roll with a disadvantage for that because that's quite a hefty feat. And then I guess I'm trying to make a save to resist it. And he gets advantage on that. Actually, Lotto, you see the giant's feet kind of like barely lift up off the ground, and then Lotto just brings him down into a prone position. The Etten slams onto the ground prone, and he also takes takes 4 points of damage. He also takes 1d6. He actually takes 9 points of damage. So now he is prone on the ground, and it is his turn. But on his turn, basically, he just tries to get up and leave. He tries to run away, and that provokes attacks of opportunity from Omen and Lotto as he tries to kind of... Actually, can't run that way. He's going to try to run this way. But Omen, you should go ahead and make your attack of opportunity.
All right, so hopefully we'll
He's
hit
like
him this
screaming and yelling.
time. If we hit him, we're gonna mess him up.
Yeah,
Come on
he is in a very bad state.
Sorry, trying to get the +7 here. Oh. All right, here we go. Come on now. 17.
That will hit for sure.
All right, then we're gonna flurry of blows and then. But so do I roll for this first one first and then roll to attack the other 2 blows. That's what we do, how we do it. Yeah?
You can do that if you want, or you can roll for the other 2 blows and roll all the damage together.
Okay,
That's
well,
fine,
let's see.
too.
We'll do the other 2 rolls. Let me.
You guys see his fists move at a speed you have not yet seen. Landing true. You hear bones crunch underneath his blows as it hits the ribs. The giant's like wincing. Starts to
So I got a
whimper.
15 and a 24.
A 15 and a 24.
Yeah.
Those will both hit. Roll damage.
All right, so we've got 3 strikes. Boy, oh boy. Now, this is going to take me a second to do all this high math.
That's okay. While you're doing that, Lotto's going to make his attack roll. Oh, yeah, he's going to hit. Roll the damage. Does 4 points of damage with unarmed strike. Actually, Omen, you'll be on deck for your actual turn.
So there's the 15 points of damage from the flurry of blows, plus an additional 2 points of necrotic damage from the necrotic shroud. So it's a total of 17 points, 2 of which is necrotic.
Oh. Is that all the damage, or do you have more to roll?
No, it was I hit with 3 attacks, 3 dice 6 plus my plus 5 on each one. Right, so it's 4. Yeah, I only got a total of 17 points of damage on that
was total?
opportunity.
Okay. Gotcha.
Opportunity attack.
Well, it is now your turn. You just hammered him with the fists, and now it's your turn again. We come up to the top of the initiative.
I'll try to hit him again, and we'll see what
Roll the
happens
hit.
there. All right, hang on. Come on. Get out of there. Clear that
It
out.
took him his whole turn. His movement. He was only able to stand up. He wasn't really able to run. He's
That's
moving
a
too sluggish.
24.
That will hit. So Omen feels like, Omen sees the perfect shot at the jaw, one of the jaws of the heads, and he just, Omen is pretty sure this is a finishing move. If you want to make it thematic at all, he's bleeding everywhere. He can barely stand.
Oh, I'm gonna reach into his chest and pull at his heart.
Oh, Omen goes. Do you want to describe what it looks like?
A massive shroud of black energy forms around his fist, and he screams loudly.
Whoa.
Is that the screaming? I hear screaming.
Yes, that's Bruce Lee, baby. Come on! And he reaches into his chest, rips out his heart as it's beating in his hands.
It's
And
a
he
big heart
slowly-
too. It's like the size of a
Slowly
basketball.
drops it upon the ground.
You
Wipes
see
his hand in the air to let the blood flow off of it, and turns around and walks away.
You guys see the giant's eyes just staring forward, and then just without any other words, no sound, his body just falls forward where Omen had just been standing. Omen walks away, and then slam, the body just falls head first. Snow kind of poofs up around it, and the Etin is dead. Now, with that being said, that's where we're going to leave it for tonight, and we're going to leave it with just one kind of like hanging note. As he falls flat forward on his back, you see that pouch sticking out of it, a skull head with a helmet on, and then folded up beside the head on either side, 2 booted feet. What is this figure in the Etin's pouch? Why is he carrying around the skeleton with armor on? And why is there the handle of a sword sticking up out of it next to it? We will find out in the next episode of the Barren Lands. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for playing. Great session players. You have made it to the forest line. What is next? We will have to see in episode 5. And I'm going to hit end on the stream. Goodbye, everyone. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Thank you.